show coming from the RAC store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We RAC will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC lab from the back lab. 110 of these in my backpack. Crazy RAC lab from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. It's the RAC.
Good morning, RAC FM. It's 0900 EST, and what does the fucking O stand for? Oh my fucking god, we have Gelotto and raccoons sharing the fucking stage in harmony together tonight. Well, tonight my time anyway. So guys, it's Monday the 17th of April 2023, and this is your daily Cosmos Crypto US of A fucking breakfast show with your host Robo, the mayor of Rackville, and your favourite pundits. But our little woman B-Bands from the block, she's down horrendous today, guys. She's missing in action. Finn, he's up editing fucking raps until 4 a.m. So you're stuck with me and fucking Bruce, aka Arnie. So yeah, man, we're here, guys. Hopefully giving you guys all the opinions, etc., that you guys fucking want to be hearing about different projects. And without further ado, Brucey, you sounded a little bit shocked earlier about bringing our guests in tonight. You were like, Robo, I can't believe we've got Gelotto on after all this time, yeah? How class, Bruce?
Absolutely, man. I fucking hated those guys when you launched in the beginning. You were a straight competitor to our beautiful little monopoly here. So, yeah. But I've staked with you. I've staked most of my Juno with Gelotto Validator. I buried my little tiny personal hatchet I had with the ice cream. And yeah, I'm back. I'm back at eating butter and milk. It's beautiful.
Nobody's going to be angry with ice cream, man. I mean, what kind of fucking retard would anybody have to be angry with ice cream, man? That's just not happening on anyone's watch, that, like, is it, Brucey? So, guys, without further ado, because I believe this is the first time that I've met someone like RISBE's team. So, RISBE's an old friend of the show. We did a round table the other week. It was fucking brilliant. So, welcome, RISBE. And do you want to introduce your team to us as well, RISBE? I think we all know you by now.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us. And for people who don't know me, I'm the co-founder of Gelotto. We also have Daniel and Tri. So, Daniel, if you want to give us a quick TLDR about yourself.
I'm Daniel. I'm the co-founder of Gelotto. I'm more of the mad scientist coder guy, and RISBE was the one who kind of, forced stuff online for other people to see it, so it wouldn't just die in darkness as it usually does with me. So, I got, and Tritador over there is the good communicator. I kind of suck at communicating, as you might tell later by the time I'm done talking. But yeah, I'm Daniel.
Hi, guys. I'm Jacob. RISBE and Daniel found me on the bathroom floor, drunk off my ass. I can't comb away out of a paper bag, but I'm like a lawyer in the real world. So I guess that makes me kind of like the front-facing dude who talks when Daniel starts rambling, keeps our spaces on track.
These two are fucking mad, RISBE. I like this interview already. My goodness me. I'll tell you what, guys, just to give a quick intro. So I did say Finn will cut the first hour of shit talking out. Brucey, you asked me a question earlier, didn't you, at the beginning of the show, yeah? When I was talking about Gelotto, right?
Yeah, I did.
What was your question? You said, oh, why is that impressed you, right?
Yeah. You said you were impressed with them, and I asked you why you were impressed. Because I haven't been following them at all. I shied away from them. I had to manifest my hatred for the ice cream in the beginning because I was scared they would take away my profits.
Well, what was my answer to your question? It was basically, shippers are going to ship, right? Like, I've learned in this fucking industry, no matter what people say, right? you can talk all day long, whatever you fucking want, try and talk the talk, etc., etc. But it's the people who fucking ship. And I think shippers like recognize shippers as well. And since I've been over on the site buying the NFT raffle tickets and shit, man, I've really started to enjoy using your platform, like RISBE. So yeah, when Bruce said Robo, what's impressed you like the most or whatever, I'm just like, guys, the shipping, like they're not stopping. Plus the level of communication, the engagement with the community, with the Discord. And guys, this is not me arse-licking. Go in the Discord and see how fucking busy it is. See like how many channels of fucking flow of information they've got going on, yeah? These guys are the real deal. And it's I think it's more relevant now for projects that are emanating from like obviously, Juno, etc. That like the base level DApp projects like us, man, we need to be fucking sticking together and supporting each other, right, RISBE? That's how it fucking should be, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, right now we're in such a small niche space within the crypto universe. Like no one has heard of Juno, Some people have heard of Cosmos. So like there's something here between us. You guys do great stuff. We do great stuff. And the more we can work together, the more crazy shit we can do within this Web3 space.
Yeah, I personally don't want, the internet, just the Web3 taken over by Google, big companies, just like the internet is today. The internet today just seems to me like it's been turned into cable television, just worse, and with a bunch of even worse advertising practices and even more restrictive content, and everything's kind of funneled to the same few websites. That's all centrally controlled by these rich companies. It'd be great if RAC and Gelotto and other Web3 projects on Cosmos and on Juno or wherever could band together and present an alternative, present something that could stand up to what the internet is today. Just present an alternative. I think it's really important to kind of bring back some of the spirit that the internet had before, the last, I don't know, like in the late 90s, the early, the 2000s, where there was still like an individual person, like web pages still had some individual personality and some perspective of their own. It wasn't all just about saving face on social media.
I just like the fact that I've come across guys who want to be like crypto billionaires and fly jets around the world. So I know they're not going to dump their token to make 20 grand on the community because thanks to inflation, that buys like half a loaf of bread or something. So if they're in it for like billionaire games, I can go along for the ride.
That too.
I'm guessing, RISBE, have you and Daniel known each other like for quite a long time? Did you like?
Oh my God, dude, forever now. I met Daniel maybe like 7 years ago or something. We worked at a financial startup, and that's where I kind of met all my best friends there. Like a group of 5 guys. We would hang out all the time. Every day during lunch break, we'd go downstairs, smoke weed, come back up. Everyone knew we were blazed out of our mind, but we'd come back, do a kick-ass job. And since then, we've started other business ventures. He was the best man, he was the groomsman at my wedding. Like, I love Daniel. He's such a great and smart guy. And I'm happy that we get a chance to build something together and it's actually going somewhere.
So how was Gelotto conceptualized? Just to ask that question. I know you might have told people before, but I haven't heard it. How did you conceptualize? Where did ice cream come from? Like, I want to know where the idea for ice cream and that come from as well, yeah?
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Maybe once or twice a year, we actually go trip in the woods. And I think this was like 2 years ago, right before COVID. We went into Vermont, went to the National Forest, took some Lucy, and we're just out there just tripping, having a great time. And as we're hanging out and talking, we're like, hey, what can we do in the future? How can we unite people? How can we take our passion for building stuff and do something cool within this space? And then initially, like, hey, why don't we just build gambling stuff? Now, why don't we build this? Why don't we build that? And then since we had that idea, we just kept talking about it. And eventually one day, Daniel, on a whim, was like, hey, let me go and try to build like a lottery thing just to see what it looks like. And he showed me a screenshot of it. I was like, damn, this is fucking phenomenal. So I actually shared that screenshot on Reddit. I think it was in Juno subreddit at the time. I was like, hey, this is like something that we plan on building. This looks really cool. We got a bunch of awesome feedbacks. I shared those feedback with Daniel, and he just kept building, and I kept sharing. And it got to the point where people were like, hey, we want these guys to build stuff. And Gelotto sort of came to me. Daniel, if you want to tell us how the name Gelotto came to be, maybe people would enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean it's very sophisticated. My girlfriend and I were sitting on the couch, trying to think about words that have the phrase "lotto" in it, and she thought gelato, and therefore we have gelato. And I love ice cream. I'm like ice cream addict, maybe. I don't know, but it seemed like like you were saying earlier, who doesn't like gelato? I'm sure there's some lactose intolerant people out there, but um, it just seemed like a good name. It's like it's easy to say. It's kind of a pun. This is what and uh, it stuck. Up to that point, I was just working on some user interface demos and some kind of simulations about what a website could look like with buying lottery tickets and stuff. And at first it was on Solana. But RISB kind of introduced me to Cosmos, and for a bunch of reasons, I saw the light. I came over here. But yeah, that's basically it. Just brainstorming ideas for names that have the word lotto in it, and gelato kind of does, even though the spelling is off. But hey, the domain name was available, so it worked out perfectly.
You're married now, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have like your wife sign anything about the name then, right?
No, it was in the prenup, but just kidding. No prenup. But yeah, we're married now, and she's all on board with me. I quit my job back in late November because it was just way too much to do my full time, software engineering job and gelato at the same time. I mean, I remember being in like a, as a software engineer, you have these ritualistic morning meetings where you give status updates about your progress and are you blocked by anything and what you're going to do today. And I just remember being in one of these unnecessary meetings in the morning, and we just did the airdrop, and there's like millions of people on the Discord having all these kinds of issues with claiming the airdrop, and then I'm at the same time I'm trying to look like I'm attentive at my little meeting for work, and it's just like Discord blowing up, and it was I pretty quickly realized that it's not going to be tenable for me to do both of those things at the same time. So a month or so later, I just ended up quitting, and here I am, doing gelato full time, which was 100% the right decision.
Big like camel-sized balls, that like, dude, just to like walk out your job like that, mind. Wow. Had you been there a while as well?
At my last job, well, I was at my last job actually not even for an entire year. Like gelato, yeah, like RISB said, we work on things compulsively, and I've been working on this or that project, forever it seems. But usually, I'm by myself, and I try to talk to people about the ideas, but their eyes kind of glaze over at a certain point because I just get too technical, or just talk too much, and so they usually just evaporate and turn into some other, into the next project. So gelato is really the first time that I've been involved on any project that has gained traction in a larger community outside my own little world, and that's kind of like the whole reason. That's the whole point of doing a project, is to have people use it and get feedback and build a community and kind of use the project as a platform to kind of show to show your vision, and to use it as a vehicle for not only for communicating your ideas and your perspectives. And so once people are actually now starting to use gelato, and there are people claiming the airdrop, they're on Discord, there was really no alternative for me. Like I would have felt like a total hypocrite or sellout if I were just say, oh, that's nice, and continue working my day job. So even though I'm not getting all the profit and stuff that the site and the project is generating, it's pretty much just going back into the project. So it would be nice to have some income, but I was kind of while I was working, I knew that at a certain point I was just gonna, if something worked out like gelato, I was gonna want to quit and focus on it full time, just to take it to the next level.
Well, Daniel, you've touched on something there, because that's actually one of the main questions. And I did have a little question to find out if you're poker Dejans in real life before I get to the question about funding. RISB, are you a poker Dejan in real life? Do you like a little game of Texas or what?
Yeah, of course. Who doesn't?
Ah, I was thinking if these guys are like running poker tournaments, I bet they're right Asians themselves, you know. Eh, but I wanted to ask you about your funding, yeah, if you don't mind. Did you guys kind of like bootstrap this yourself with like we did with the sale of the NFTs, or did you just put your own cash in to get up and running, or what?
We basically put all of our own money in. So while we were building Gelato behind the scenes, it was a bull market. And Daniel and I, especially I, started taking money out and putting it to the side. Like, hey, this is a project we potentially want to do. And if it works out, we need to have some level of runway. So at least to initially start, almost all the cash for the project was solely from us. And then as we started building, things through validated commission, NFT sales, those things started to help subsidizing some of the costs. But right now, it is entirely Daniel and I fully funding this project.
And we've been applying for grants here and there. Grants are seem exceedingly hard to get. Oftentimes, I don't know if this is true or not, just my perspective, but it seems like the grants that succeed are the ones that conform closest to the what's stated in the call for the grants. Like they want more. Maybe they want. I'm guessing. Maybe they want more traditional ideas when it comes to DeFi or. I've encountered a lot of people in my work that kind of are doubtful that Web3 and then blockchain can or should be used for general purpose software, web apps and software development. It's like people's minds are locked into thinking about tokens and thinking about the financial services applications of it. But me personally, I'm coming from just thinking about all sorts of ideas and how to make them work on Web3 to create a new internet, and so I think that our application is kind of more in that category of just we're trying a bunch of different things. It's more general purpose. It's not like we're building a new borrowing platform or a new DEX or something that is like an already common thought and easy to computes easily in people's minds. And so when we go and present, we have all these things going on. We have the validators, we have the platform, we have poker tournaments. So trying to condense that in a way that is easy for the investors and financial people to consume and to see what the path forward is in terms of getting a return on their investment. It might be a little bit more difficult for them. So we've been kind of refining our pitch and thinking of like how we can better target them and target the pitch. And I'm still optimistic that this year we'll be able to land some more robust funding from one source or another, whether it's from VCs or from a grant, from hackathons.
We get this in our spaces a lot, don't we, Daniel? Like the confluence between like Web3 apps and cryptocurrency token prices and how those things just sometimes don't always play together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're both we're oftentimes like railing on the whole status quo inflationary hyperinflationary tokenomics phenomenon, and it would be because I think the team is in agreement that it would be fantastic to produce products through Gelotto that do generate the so-called real yields, and it would be amazing to produce an example of an application that was built with robust community support and input and provides a lot of different avenues for people to tap into to not only participate actively and have fun and potentially profit from that, but also to participate passively through other mechanisms as well, like by collectively playing the role of the house and providing the funds for the games, and then profiting proportionally. So and that's just a beginning. It would be great if this was a truly distributed project on from all angles, not just from the player perspective, but
moreover, bigger picture, like going forward in the cryptocurrency space. I think the future is people are wising up to speculating on token prices. It's more like what are projects that people actually want to use? What's an app someone will actually pay money to access and think that they're getting a useful service for it? I think that's where the money is. And I mean, at that point, cryptocurrency token prices are neither here or there. You make money when people use your product, and whether your token's a penny or $1 million each, like they'll pay some fraction of tokens, and that's your yield, and that goes to your users or whoever's staking or doing whatever.
Guys, can I just clarify something as well? I would really like to know this here. Because I know that you guys have got like essentially the 3 NFT collections out. I saw how like the airdrop went and stuff like that, right? Like, what are the revenue streams though for the holders? Like, the part of like the validator commission, or like what? I tell you what, very quickly, RIZBE, can you give us a quick overview, dude, of what's in it for you guys, your revenue streams, and then what's in it for like your holders and their revenue streams? Yeah.
Yep, of course. So in total, we have 3 Gelotto series 1, 2, and 3, which grants you VIP access to the platform and revenue sharing. So part of that revenue sharing is you get 1% of all game pots across our entire platform for all future and current games. So in total, 3% of all game pots go to our NFT holders. On top of that, if you own 5% of any of our supply for series 1, 2, and 3, or a special one-piece NFT that we have, which there's about 30 in total, you get 1% of all Gelotto revenue streams. So that includes the gaming platform, our merchandising, our validators, NFT sales and royalty and things of that nature. And to us, we are a decentralized business. It's probably easier to start low. So in the future, when we are a lot more robust and we're generating a lot more, revenue, we do want to bump up those thresholds. So this is where our holders and our owners get a lot more than the 1% they're getting right now.
Yeah, I guess the big picture Gelotto business model is like every time there's a game, 10% of the cost of playing that game goes to Gelotto, and 3% goes to NFT holders, 7% goes for other uses on the platform, like funding our future games. And so, and then Gelotto also is going to make money when we do that staking as the house contract coming up and allow continuously available games against the house. Whenever people lose money, that ends up being in the house too. But most of that trickles down to NFT holders for the 10%, and then people who are staking their Gelotto tokens at the house for the other money that happens to get lost. So, I mean, I guess there are two sides of two ways to get revenue that way.
This is what your Discord's on fire with. This is staking as the house. Can you just give us a little bit more detail in that one? What exactly is staking as the house? Yeah,
that's like the coolest thing about Gelotto, in my opinion, is the idea that people who hold a Gelotto token can essentially play as the casino. You can be the house. You stake your Gelotto tokens, and everyone stakes your Gelotto tokens. That becomes this giant pool of money that is the house's money. And so when someone plays a game against a house, if he wins the game, like blackjack or slots or whatever, then that money comes out of the stake pool proportional to everybody's stakes. You might lose a little. If someone loses, then money goes into everybody's stake. Now, these are casino-style games, so the odds favor the house. So in theory, as time approaches infinity and millions of games get played, that will slowly cause the stakers to accrue money. And because the Gelotto token's not inflationary, no one's like getting paid yields or anything for what we mint. It's just pure house income, then everyone's getting real yields the more Gelotto platform gets used. So you're almost like a part owner of the platform. You profit as Gelotto profits. You probably want to tell your friends to get them playing too, because the more people who play, the more you profit.
I like the sound of that one, Bruce. Do you like that one? Staking as the house.
Yeah, it's also a smart way to create an incentive for referrals and a lot of things.
One of the things we also want to do eventually is we kind of call this a gaming liquidity pool. So in the future, most of the games on the Gelotto platform will use staking of the house. So there's a lot more money to play with. But in the future, we want to open this up to other game developers. So let's say Raccoon's like, hey, we want to integrate DICE with staking of the house. Now you have access to a lot more money than if you're doing it by yourself. Same way if some new person comes in, they want to integrate it, they can. We'll provide all the safeguards and basically tools and everything to integrate it. But that's kind of where we see it going in the long term. If we have all these people besides Gelotto using staking as the house, now you're generating real yield for all of our GLTO holders across this ecosystem.
So you would class that as gaming as a service, right? That's what that will be, right? Gaming as a service,
basically, a gaming liquidity service, if you would call it.
Yeah, big picture, if you think about it, Gelotto, we make a cool gaming platform, but taking a step higher up, we're almost like a Web3 software company. I mean, I think all of us are developing apps are. And so the more our contracts interwork with each other and we offer each other a bunch of open source or let people hook into each other's apps, we're all kind of Web3 software companies right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what Raccoon are. If you look at what Raccoons are doing now, they've just took like time out from the platform. I mean, I know they've updated it with a bit fresher UI, etc. But there's no more games or anything dropped for like what, over 6 months now. But in the meantime, NFT marketplace is being built, custom open minter editions being built for Stargaze. It's like, yeah, man, the people that don't think you're like a fucking software company or app development company, like, they're off their fucking chops, you know.
It's a craft.
Right.
Coding is a craft, right?
Brucey, you got any questions for the guys before we move on to Beast?
Yeah, well, I just was wondering how it was for Gelotto and the guys to launch on Juno, and what was the sentiment in the community, and how was the devs, and yeah, the process.
I mean, I'll let Dana talk to the technical side, but from the community side, like, that's the thing that we fell in love with from the very beginning. Even when we first shared our initial screenshot and all of our progress work, the community was really fucking excited. Even like the Juno core dev team, they would share, our tweets and things like that. So we felt really loved. So we came to Cosmos, specifically Juno, because the tech is great, it's easy to use, it's built for developers. But we really stayed for the community. This made us go, hey, this is the right place for us to be. And because of IBC, we don't just see it as, hey, this is a Juno community and this is who supports us. We see it across the entire Cosmos ecosystem. I mean, Gelotto is a Web3 venture. We're not just going to be stuck in Cosmos, but across all the other crypto communities I've been at, Cosmos definitely has one of the best. Dan, if you want to talk to them about the tech side, and if it was easy or hard, I'll let you take that.
Well, I mean, I was coming from working in Solana and a little Solidity for Ethereum, and compared to that, from an engineering perspective, the paradigm of writing smart contracts for Cosmos and CosmWasm is a lot more similar to just how you would write the back end application for a traditional web app. So so the patterns are very similar, and so it was easier to kind of understand the development process. And the community was fairly responsive to questions I had whenever I'd hit a roadblock. There was never any kind of insurmountable obstacle. And and in Juno's value prop was to be the kind of the general purpose contract execution platform, in Cosmos that would exist in order to reduce congestion on the network. Because the idea is that the Cosmos Hub at that time should be used more just as a transaction processing, moving tokens around as a hub, and so put all the smart contract stuff that could possibly congest the network, put it on Juno. And so, and also, I mean, choosing Juno made sense because what we're building was not strictly some kind of DeFi thing that we would put on a chain like Osmosis or some other chain, and at the same time, it wasn't a strictly NFT project, so it's not going to go on Stargaze. So Juno just seemed like the natural fit from a technical perspective, and it's been.
I wasn't Daniel. I wasn't going to ask this, but it's killing me, and I'm going to have to ask it now, right?
I'm happy. I'm very happy you're going to take this question, Robo. I'm fumbling.
This wasn't on the list of questions, but I'm just wondering, guys, tell the truth. Recently, over the last few months, as a team, did you guys sit down and have the shall we move over to Polygon conversation or not? I'm just wondering if you sat down as a team and actually had that, or if it didn't even come into your thought process.
Try. Do you want to take this one?
I don't think we really thought about Polygon specifically. I mean, but the IBC makes this easy. Like, if we want to do NFTs, we can launch them on Stargaze. If we want to call Noise Network or just let mainnet for randomness, we can do that. So I mean, if there comes a time where it's advantageous to run a certain aspect of Gelotto on another network, that's easy because of the IBC. And so, we're not married to any particular network as far as the front end user is concerned. When he goes to Gelotto.io, he plays games. He has no idea what crypto stuff's happening in the background. So we just got to build where the building is easiest and makes sense. And if, we end up with more users building a certain place, or a certain feature works better on a certain network, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do what's best for the platform, because ultimately there's a bajillion L1s and they're all their own little piece of Web3. It's not clear who's going to win the internet war. So, we would just want to make sure that everything is built the way is best for Gelotto, and the front-facing user, he's not going to know any different.
And specifically in regards to Polygon, no, we didn't talk about that. I mean, there's another L1 in Cosmos Archway. Some of you are probably familiar with it. That looks very promising, very interesting. They have very good team and good ideas. So if something, breaks down on Juno and we have to go somewhere else, that's going to be a strong candidate when, I think, in my mind. In terms of Polygon specifically, personally, the only thing that I ever looked at there was there's an app, I think it's there. It's called Poly Market. It's a prediction market for just general ideas and beliefs. So, it's not just restricted to stocks or elections. There's a whole bunch of different categories where people can kind of place bets on the future outcomes. And I always thought it would be nice to build something like that for Cosmos. So whether we build that, I mean, most likely that would be built on Juno, but could be on another network. One thing that would be nice.
The reason you guys haven't deployed on another network, obviously you know that Raccoons put the casino on Huahua. We were in talks with Kujira, that looked like it was going to happen, but it's happening with Whale 100%. It's probably going to end up, but it's definitely going on Archway. So I'm very surprised you guys haven't took the leap to another network already, just for that extra liquidity,
Right now, we're still at the stage of building a lot of our foundations. One of the examples of this is our site is entirely run on chain. So if you go to our lottery, our NFT raffle page, for example, and you do filtering and searching, that's all happening on chain. There isn't some, back-end database that we can access. So Juno is a perfect place to experiment and build these types of things. So right now, we're primarily focused on building our tooling, some core games and things of that nature. Once we're at a better place like that, then we do want to spin off and maybe build a prediction market game or something on Kujira, C, or something like that. From the very beginning, we stressed that, hey, we're not a Cosmos project. We are a Web3 venture. Cosmos, Juno is a starting point for us, but we're definitely going to branch outside of this, even from the infrastructure point of view. Our infrastructure part of the company is doing very well. We're high up there on a lot of Cosmos chains. And very soon, we're going to be exiting Cosmos and start spinning up validators for AVAX, Polkadot, Ethereum, and things of that nature. So, people think about migrating as a bad thing, but I think it's ultimately a good thing. As long as you can spread around and have everything connect back to your core site, this is how we can bring more traffic into the Cosmos ecosystem without people even realizing they're using Cosmos.
Yeah, if you could tell me that we're going to get 10 million users if we go over to Polygon, we'd be at Polygon tomorrow. I mean, Gelotto is very, very slightly in the black. The model works, it makes money. We just got to scale it. We need 10 million users. If they're in Polygon, great.
So I just want to clarify something, RIZBE. Did you say exiting the Cosmos, or are you going to expand out of the Cosmos?
Sorry, I meant to expand. Right now, especially for our validators, for example, it's been primarily concentrated within the Cosmos ecosystem, but that's something we want to branch off and go outside of Cosmos as well, too. Same thing for our NFTs. We recently launched a collection on Ethereum, got fully minted out pretty quick, was an awesome experience. And in the future, we'll build out games, too. So eventually, today, we're not thinking about Polygon or other chains outside of Cosmos, but something that's on our mind and something we'll definitely do in the future.
Yeah, I think it's a smart choice as a business to scale, right? We all want that.
Exactly.
Well,
right.
Go on.
I just want to let Daniel speak, and then I'll have another question, Robo. Then I give it back to you.
I was going to concur with that. From a business perspective, from my own personal selfish developer perspective, it would be nice to bring more people into Cosmos, because I do think it is superior, I would say, both in a kind of if it makes sense, in a spiritual sense, in the mentality and the attitudes of the people, and the how, I feel like the conversations and the personalities and the desire to build things is more genuine, and it's more individualistic, and like I said before, the technology and the process of developing the software is really good, I think, and straightforward. And in building like on Solana or building on Ethereum, there are all sorts of technical constraints that kind of pollute and muddy the whole experience, because you spend a lot of time just thinking about how to squeeze the smallest amount of like extra, get the most bang for your buck, because of either high transaction fees or because there's relatively extreme constraints on your so-called compute budget. How complicated each contract execution can be. Cosmos is a way more, or at least Juno is way more liberal in that respect. And so it's easier to build like realistic, scalable applications because they haven't gone crazy trying to prematurely optimize it for, absolute efficiency. And it works. And I think it's because it's also easy to communicate like the patterns of development. So personally, it would be great if I could like manage my time better and figure, and go out to universities around New York City at least, and maybe, help introduce some of the students to CosmWasm development and start, it would be cool if we could incubate ideas out there and get, the larger, community interested and just knowledgeable about Cosmos. So from a business perspective, yeah, it makes sense. Go scale, go in other blockchains that have more market cap and more users. But at the same time, I want, Cosmos needs more attention in its growth than those other, networks, because Cosmos seems to be a little bit smaller, but at the same time, it has a lot of great ideas and a lot more of a collaborative spirit. So I lean towards like Cosmos as more of a Cosmos. I wouldn't say maxi, but I'm kind of like more of a, hardcore supporter of Cosmos versus some other network.
Are you a big Rust fan?
I think Daniel, you're still talking about scalability, right? You can scale the community that are using your product, but you can also scale your reach. There's many ways to do it, but I really like your perspective, Daniel. Thank you. Sorry for cutting you off, Robo. And I got another question. Because when you launched on Juno, right? I remember sitting in the RAC community, all of us in the RAC community, we were amazed of the love you got from the devs, because we had a bit different experience when we launched. So how did you do that? Was it just because they like ice cream more than raccoons? Are we dirty? You remember that, Robo?
Are you talking about things like the Juno pull requests, Juno swap pull requests and stuff like that? Is that what you're trying?
Exactly. And the vote in the DAO, at the raw DAO and all that.
I wouldn't say that Gelotto got like loads of love, right? Because when you mention devs, you mean the Juno devs, the Core 1 or whatever, right? Or Core 2, yeah? I wouldn't say that. I would say that just we got fucking zero help, which means that any help anybody else looked like a lot more than what we were getting. No?
Correct. Yeah, right on the fucking head, man.
I wouldn't particularly say like I've seen like, I don't know, the Juno like upper echelon devs like, I don't know, like looking like doing things for Gelotto particularly favourable or anything. Like I'm sure RISB have just been like left alone to do your own shit, right?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were very helping and communicative. And again, I think this is a good thing to sort of see the evolution. Like RAC was here from the very beginning of Juno, really from the start. And the type of help you got and the trials and tribulations you guys went through was a lot. We came into the scene, it was a lot easier for us. And hopefully the next set of team that comes in, it's a lot easier for them. And it sucks for people in the beginning, you got to go through all this shit. But this is what gives me confidence that Cosmos and Juno is doing well, because every step of the way, every team that comes in, it gets easier and easier. I still remember all the fucked up things that we had to deal with when we first launched our app. And now it's way easier now. So hopefully we keep making progression, and I'm happy that at least the Juno team, they are very, even like I know Daniel worked a lot with Reef, we talked a lot with Max, just good people overall, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, Max, Reese, Jake, Noah, Eggers, they're all absolute legends, right? Really, really good, helpful, nice people. Yeah, sometimes people get up on the wrong foot. Right, Brucey, are you finished your line of questioning yet? Because we haven't even got onto Beast yet, and we need to be getting that nailed down, because this is half the reason for the interview, right? So
Absolutely. But I just want to let Daniel speak. I think I could feel he got something on his tongue.
Me?
Yeah, it's just because I saw you unmuted your mic, and it was just unmuted for a while.
I guess I was just thinking about what you're saying with the help from the community, and we did launch the token, the LP, on Osmosis first. Maybe they saw that and they wanted to get in on the fun and get us on Juno Swap more eagerly. I don't know, but I don't know. We opened up a Telegram chat with them, and it was pretty straightforward to get that set up. I messed up actually through that process. So now there's I don't know, some non-negligible amount of gelato locked up in the Juno Swap rewards contract that I accidentally sent into that. So there were mistakes made, but nothing too egregious. But one of the things that I did notice as an engineer, coming into Cosmos, was that there was a lack of high-level documentation, like blog posts, examples, like recipes. When I was in Solana, there was a team working on the Solana cookbook, which you can access at solanacookbook.com. And you can take a look at the layout there, but it's pretty much just what are the main things that, people seem to have problems doing, and what do they want to do? And based on what they ask in Discord, and they created this cookbook that's basically a bunch of recipes for doing the most commonplace things that, underpin 80% of what smart contracts do. And, it's just different, it's what are the common ingredients to most smart contracts? They're in this cookbook. And it would have been useful to have that kind of resource when I was getting started. And now there's Area 52. I haven't looked too deeply into that, but I did look, briefly at it, and that seems very helpful. But one of the things that prevents developers from sticking with, their experimentations on Cosmos is that lack of documentation. Because as soon as if you have a full-time job and you hit a roadblock on something, and no one responds to any questions anywhere, you're pretty much just permanently stuck, unless you want to spend every remaining hour that you have after your day job just struggling with something kind of in the dark, so that discourages a lot of people. A lot of people will just give up at that point. So I think there's
It's not like they haven't got the money to pay someone to put docs together, because Jesus, we've just seen the condo salaries, and they've got 26 people on an average of 370k each. 3 bloody HR people. It's the numbers are, and you kind of get a good set of documents for something that's got billions into or whatever. Well,
it's a little. I agree. It's kind of frustrating, I think when we did the Juno prop earlier this year, we put a prop out there to get some community funds from Juno to develop the platform. And part of that, in my mind, maybe it could have been communicated more clearly in the proposition, was to get funds to be able to pursue, to develop some of these forms of documentation. And I guess it didn't get communicated very well. It's hard to communicate as a developer what, people want to give money to ideas that they understand, something that makes sense from a consumer's perspective. But as an engineer, I strongly believe that there's a lot of value in that, building the stuff that's under the hood, that the common infrastructure, the building the ability, if you have a firm foundation, it's like the mycelium, like a mushroom. You build that mycelium network. The underground network is vast and intricate, and the mushrooms are the apps in this metaphor. But they're just a small part. They're just the fruiting body of that mycelium.
Can't we have one conversation with you guys that does not involve mushrooms?
I can't help myself. But yeah, there's value in building the potential of a network, in building the tools, the data that can be shared between applications and as well as the management of that data, which can be shared, the smart contracts that allow people to build front-end applications. If as a new developer, you come to Cosmos, you try to build an application, you get a single web page up that hooks into your smart contract, and okay, that's a great first step, but now you'd want to scale it. Like we have lots of raffles, we have lots of lotteries. At first, we have no way, unless we just like basically create a whole traditional Web2 stack and dump all the data that's on chain. Also, we dump that into our database and into our backend server. There's no way to really keep track of all the smart contracts that we create. Each lottery, each raffle is its own instance of a smart contract. There's no way to keep track of that, though, unless you're going to create a whole Web2 stack around that, which kind of defeats the purpose of Web3 to some extent. And so, the so-called hybrid application. And it's all well and good to do that. And it's probably an expedient means to get your app done. But there should be tools that allow you to truly build, and let me just say that without that ability to track all the different smart contracts, as a consequence of that, you can't make listings. And every website, every web app, it has listings. Whether it's an e-commerce website, a website like ours, which lists all these raffles. If you have no way to query groups of data, then you can't create pages that display that data, and so, or sort them and allow you to order and filter them. So there's a fundamental lack of this tooling in Web3. And
the big picture on that, Daniel, like if you're going to tell someone that ancillary to the development of the Gelotto platform, we're also making really cool general purpose tools, like just the ability to list your smart contracts, which doesn't exist before. You're still not going to get money from somebody who put his life savings in $44 Juno. He's going to be like, fuck that.
Yeah, exactly. And but they don't understand, there's a lack of understanding that functionality is what's needed to allow other projects and teams to instantaneously scale their toy application into something that can be used on, into a real application, into something that's not just.
We could definitely talk about it forever, but definitely would want to end this particular question on. I'm happy that as we solve these challenges, we literally open source all of our code. So someone's like, hey, they do, they're filtering and ordering and everything on chain. How do they do it? Go to our GitHub. Our code for a contract that manages all other contracts exists. Our ACL, even our lottery, our raffles, everything is open source. So as we build this cool stuff, we'll definitely give it away, and hopefully other people will see it and build more cool shit in this ecosystem.
That's a great plus point for you guys, mind. That's a great selling point, is the open source code, mind. Especially in the Juno ecosystem, but in the wider Cosmos IBC / Atom Hub, when you're open source, man, it's just a different ball game, right?
It absolutely is, and that's how you build and provide for the community that you build in. So, I think we all really, really appreciate that, or at least we should, man. It's a gift to all of us. So, thank you for that, guys.
What do you know about Beast, Bruce? What do you know? What research have you done? Any? None. Well, you're going to find out.
All I know is what is up in the tweet, in the nest.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right, guys. Let me get this straight. Is this right? Right. And I don't know if it's a pivot. It might have been in the roadmap all along. Are you guys pivoting into P2E? Is that correct? Yeah.
I would really say a pivot. In general, we are a software company. We do games that are casino-like. We build general purpose tools. And for a long time, we also wanted to do a play to earn type of game. So it's something we sort of thought about when we created Gelotto. We're like, hey, we kind of want to focus on the lottery stuff and the gambling stuff first because it's easier. It'll help us get deeper into Cosmosm. Now that we're kind of at a good place, we're like, hey, we feel confident that we can build complicated but really good smart contracts. This is kind of where Beast sort of comes in. We figured, hey, we have all the tools, we have everything we need. Let's get it out there. And since we've announced this play to earn game, it's been really awesome to see how excited people are for something I'm actually really surprised there isn't already a game like this within the Cosmos ecosystem.
Well, bro, I've got few set of select questions for this one, and I don't know how out the three can answer. Anybody, jump in. My first question was, have you had to increase your team, or are you doing it in-house yourselves?
We're actually expanding the team specifically just for this game. So we put out a couple of Indeed job postings and other places, and we have well over 700 plus candidates that are applying for all the different roles we have, from illustrator, full stack, smart contract. So we are expanding the team specifically for Gelotto Monsters Unleashed.
We need to hire someone to go through the resumes.
Hey, there's a good rule for that when you get all of those resumes, right? Any resume that doesn't begin with an objective goes in the no pile. If you don't know how to write a resume in this day and age, then you're fucking wasting your time, right?
Dude, I feel the same, man. I think every day I must review like 50 to 60 resumes, and dude, they're like in my dreams now.
Oh, bro, and these modern resumes are so terrible. Honestly, when I see people with these like colourful ones and all of these, like an infograph, I'm like, bro, I'm going to put that in the bin. I don't want to look at that shit. I want A4, right? I want Arial 12. I want everything justified. I want my eyes to be able to scan quickly. I didn't want bloody rainbows on that in the corner. Anyway, right, you've increased the team. That's one thing I wanted to know. Right, guys, I heard you mention the name. Just give us a little quick overview of what the game's going to be. And then Beast, I want to find out who's done the tokenomics for it. And is it just a single token game, or is there going to be like an in-game token and a governance token, right? So what's the name of the game? And just give us a quick overview of what it's about.
Since Try is working so hard on the white paper, which should be public very soon, Try, do you want to take over giving the overview?
The official name, I guess, is Gelotto Monsters Unleashed. Brief, I guess, the game mechanics are in flux. This is an idea that's kind of perpetually been on the Gelotto back burner. Like, obviously we wanted to put the Lotto out first. It's literally in the name, Gelotto. And then we wanted to get out some familiar casino games, Staking is the House, actually get the gaming platform going. And doing that, we also put out a lot of cool NFT series we've looped into our platform and kind of shown, I think, Gelotto's NFT chops really well. So something like this kept getting pushed, but it's always kind of been on the back burner as a really cool game, just kind of more complex. But now it seems like a good time for it because we have a larger community, people who've seen kind of Gelotto's NFTs and like what we do. So the main idea here is essentially simulated battles or other activities, games, or puzzles using creatures represented by NFTs. You start out buying, for example, an egg. We're going to release like a series of 1,000 Genesis eggs. These will have like a hatching timer. Like it'll turn to a creature within anywhere from like a day to 3 years, depending on like how rare of the egg it is and how rare of a creature you get. Now, obviously, nobody's got time to wait 3 years for this crap to happen. So there are other NFTs you can buy that can use to shorten your hatching time or put more attributes on your eggs, things like that. And so it kind of makes a continuous market where you buy like potions or some other thing you use to like make your eggs better or worse. You get your creature. Along that same bent, once you have a creature, there are other NFTs you can buy to augment your creature and make them better. And V1 will have mostly just like simulated battles, either against other players or maybe computer-generated opponents, and a very basic system. We haven't really fleshed out the game mechanics. Like I said, it's been kind of on the back burner, and that's why we're hiring more people. Is when you have a bunch of creatures, a bunch of attributes, we're gonna need like illustrators, we're gonna need people to help come up with the game mechanics and maybe source some of that to the community. But yeah, that's the general idea is egg, you augment it, get a creature, you augment it, and then you battle other creatures. And in doing that, you earn the Beast token. We're having a new in-game token. That's going to be spent for most of the game activities. You'll buy NFTs with it, like, potions and stuff for your monsters. And every time you trade creatures, there'll be like a Beast royalty. We'll capture some of that, burn some of that. And the Beast token is the main token. But since this game is also happening on the Gelotto platform, we're using the Gelotto token as governance for it. So if someone wants to change the burn rate or vote on a game mechanic or something, that'll be done through Gelotto governance. Plus, people who stake their Gelotto tokens as the house, that's one way to earn Beast tokens in addition to gameplay. I guess that's kind of the 4.5-minute summary of Beast. Any questions?
No, do you know something though? Like that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, you know what? They've already got a governance token. Like why would you create a new one just for a game when you've already got like Gelotto there that can be used as that? Because I do know that P2E, like game mechanics and tokenomics can be an absolute nightmare, can't they? We've seen like several like crazy examples with like, luck potion, blah, blah, blah. Getting that balance right between the right tokenomics and then in-game and governance as well. It's a fucking very difficult challenge, right? Something that takes a lot of thought.
If something goes wrong, for example, like, our Beast tokens hyperinflating or people are grinding a certain way or something, then there's a lot of who can be used for governance. Like, we need to increase the burn rate on every NFT transaction, or we need to distribute things a little differently. And, like, the game parameters can change. There is a 100% chance that we will get things wrong in the first implementation and things are not going to go right with tokenomics, and that's why it's changeable.
So I've seen you guys doing airdrops for like certain NFT collections. Is the airdrop, is it designed, or the thought process behind dropping this token, is that people will engage like in the game in the NFTs if they've got like a share of the token kind of thing, right?
Yeah, that's the idea. Is it's going to go to holders of some of the primary IBC coins, but also we're going to take maybe 5 of the biggest, I guess you call them blue chip Cosmo NFT collections. If you own a certain number of those, we're going to airdrop to those people as well. Because if you're balls deep in NFTs, you're more likely to be involved in this game. You'll be more interested in it. So yeah, our airdrop is kind of carefully considered. We want to have Gelotto NFTs, blue chip NFTs, and primary IBC assets.
Yeah, I thought that because I was thinking like it's the holders of the NFTs and stuff that'll be interested in other NFTs and like getting into gaming, right?
There's no culture like NFT culture. These people are crazy.
One of the other things we wanted too is to keep everything fair, and that's why within our airdrop, it'll be generally available to people staking on any validators. That's the reason why we included blue chip NFTs as well too. Is I see way too many projects that launch like, hey, we're going to reward just our users, and hopefully all our prices pump. Our goal isn't that. We want to get the Beast token and the eggs and other NFTs that we're going to launch in the hands of as many people as possible. If you know Gelotto, great. You have a small, boost in chance of getting more. But if you don't know Gelotto, we want you to be able to stumble upon this, be like, hey, what is this cool shit? Why do I have this rare looking egg in my wallet? And sort of learn more about us and what Beast is about.
Yeah, worst case is that guy never uses his egg. My rare egg becomes more valuable.
Well, something I did want to ask you guys about that's relevant to this as well would be when mobile, because I feel like Rax has been like the slots and that, like we've been on mobile for like ages, but I mean, I keep having to like go on the computer to buy me raffle tickets and stuff like that, right? Like, why am I not
checking or not? We've actually been mobile for the last 3 months or so. So we have full Kepler integration. You should be able to, be using the entire Gelotto platform through mobile now.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that, dude. I was talking about like, yeah, if you go on like where you can see like the apps on the browser page, like on Leap or Cosmos Station, like, because I use the tablet like for the slots all the time on something like Cosmos Station, just when I'm out in the garden. But yeah, man, buying my raffle tickets for the NFTs like through the mobile or the tablet would be fantastic. Like, but Cosmos Station, dude, IBC wallet, yeah, they answered within 5 days of the pull request being sent. We were on their platform, yeah, on the browser.
Yeah, right now we wanted to start with whatever had the most amount of traffic, which is Kepler. So we have full Kepler support on mobile now. But the other two we want to add is Cosmos Station and Leap Wallet. We're already talking to the Leap team. So once staking of the house is done, like Daniel's at the very end of that, then we're going to look to provide other mobile support for the app.
Dude, I think I get. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So I have to go on Gelotto through my browser on my phone or tablet. Then I'll just use like the wallet. Wallet connect to Kepler, yeah?
Exactly. Yep.
Right. And integrating Leap should be pretty straightforward too. They Leap designed their system so that it's pretty much could be like a drop-in replacement for Kepler. So the code that I'll need to write to make that happen is relatively small, which is great.
Well, we've got no chance of getting on Kepler's browser. I mean, obviously we can support it through the browser. But I think just having those, like the ability to go on your wallet, just go to the browser, click straight on that application. I mean, I use, I think, 99% of my DAO stuff just through the tablet or the mobile. Because like I say, I'm out in the garden most of the time in Thailand, Like I like to do it as much as I can on mobile where I can. And just, I don't know. Bruce, would you say there's a big difference between the browser version of RAC.bet and then the version on, like, say, Cosmos Station or something, yeah?
I only use desktop, bro, for my shit. I really, really, really try to have as little work on my phone as possible because when I work on my phone, I end up having my work with me all the time. So, yeah, I do all my crypto on my desktop as well.
You're talking about work. I'm talking about playing the fucking slots. What you talking about, you Raj Packet? Work. Playing the slots is his work. Now he's a professional gambler as Bruce,
Didn't you know, bro? Gotta make some money, man.
Since we're getting low on time, I did want to drop a quick alpha, something we haven't talked about for Beast. But since we're going to have 1,000 Genesis eggs, each of these eggs are going to have something special. It's going to have a very unique DNA. And what this means is in the future, when additional eggs and monsters are created, each of these monsters and eggs are going to inherit DNA from one or more Genesis eggs. So whenever a new creature inherits DNA from a Genesis egg and that creature is sold on a marketplace, a percentage of the royalty will go to Genesis egg holders. So basically, if you hold these eggs and let's say 2 years from now, there's 1,000+ monsters using some of the Genesis egg DNA, then they'll get a continuous royalty on that too. But all that information will be in our white paper, which we'll hopefully release super soon.
That's pretty cool, because that's one of the most contested subjects in NFTs is royalties, isn't it? You know?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a quick question? I don't want to deviate, but Stargaze and the 10% royalties that Don saw was screaming about at the top of his voice. What do you think about 10% as a royalty? Do you think it's looking like now where we are in the industry? Do you think it's too much or about right?
I think that's perfectly fine. Like, what's wrong with that? I mean, that's one of the things that drew me and I'm sure other people to NFTs. The fact that you can create something, throw it out there, and for the rest of your life, you know, as long as the chain is going, earn some type of good, you know, general passive income. So I think 10% is perfectly fine. Anything more than that, I think might be a little excessive. I think on Cream Queens, we added a 20% royalty, but only because we airdropped 100% of that supply. So we never made any money off the initial sale. But I think high royalty is a perfectly fine thing to have. It kind of motivates the artist and team to build more content in the future because, hey, if your old series are doing well and you have great ideas, now build more stuff and continue to earn passive income.
I'd almost say 10% is a minimum because when it comes to like NFT trading, we have like digital artwork and content. Like that's not the kind of thing like, you know, like a currency where it's just constant high volume trading back and forth all the time. I mean, unless like, you know, your collection's a million big and they're super cheap or something. And that's not really the point of NFTs. Like I think with NFTs, 10% is almost like a minimum royalty just to be worth doing for a content creator.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this whole discussion, but personally, I just created a collection and I put the royalties at 3%. But also a meme collection.
It depends on who you are and where you're coming from, and you know, are you a professional artist? Are you not? Like what's motivating the NFT collection? And I think in general, it's nice that, you know, there is this mechanism to allow people to continually, you know, profit from their work in a way that increases their own like financial independence and autonomy in this world, you know, and the more that that's true, the less that talented people have to go and, you know, submit to some kind of traditional employment that uses all of their, you know, skill, time, and effort to do some, you know, to build some random, you know, business product or something that, you know, doesn't really activate the passion of that individual person. Like I know in New York, there are plenty of people who come here and they want to be an artist. You know, they have some kind of artistic ambition, but then, you know, reality hits and then they're trapped doing some, you know, doing something that's completely unrelated to art. You know, either it's in an office or it's bartending or it's your secretary or they're at a museum, or, you know, they don't get to actually do their art because it's just financially prohibitively difficult to live here and do that kind of thing. So to the extent that it helps those people, I think it's a great innovation to have these kinds of you know, royalty schemes, because I think it's a way that we can.
Like they're an oddity though. Like if someone buys my NFTs because he loves them so much and he holds them forever, I stop making money on them. But I want him to buy my NFTs and love them so much. So I mean, I guess we haven't seen. There's a lot of things you can do with NFTs, but I haven't seen the kind where like there's just this rapid, fast, high volume trading, like people buying and selling Bitcoin. Like that generally, at least to date, hasn't happened with NFT collections. So it seems like for royalties to be a moneymaker, you got to set a decent chunk for that number. And then, like I said, it's counterintuitive because I really want loyal holders to not sell them, but you know, I also want them to sell them so I make money. So I don't know.
True.
Yeah, I mean, in the conversation that it's a couple of conversations over a period of a few weeks. One of the things was like, you know, when you've got these like 10K piece collections, say like Bad Kids or something, yeah, like having like, I don't know, like, you know, a flat 5% or 3%, but when then you've got an artist like someone like Maria, who's, you know, sitting down and crafting these pieces or something, well, maybe like those kind of like standalone artists, they can charge like a higher commission or a royalty That was a bit of the consensus that people were kind of coming round to, you know. I'm not an artist, so I don't think really royalties are something I should comment on, you know.
You know what's weird? Like, I hear a lot of conversations about royalty, but I never hear the normal person ever talk about it. No one ever buys NFTs and says, oh my God, there's like a 10% royalty on this. I'm not buying this shit. You just buy it, and it's mostly the content creators and other creators that kind of have an opinion on what this percentage should be.
I mean, at what stage do royalties piss off a buyer and a seller, you know? Well, not particularly a buyer, but a seller. At what stage is it, you know, like, is it when it's like 100K stars, is it going to piss you off? Or when it's 1,000K stars, do you not give a fuck, you know? I wonder if it's like dependent on factors like that in people's own minds, you know? Like when you buy it, though, you're right. When you mint it, you didn't think of royalties at all, do you? When you mint it, you didn't give.
The royalty is like the risk factor, you know. If I'm going to buy something, then I have to think about, okay, how much does the floor price have to go up before I can sell it to make what I'm going to, spend in a royalty back? And I mean, NFTs, like, you always got to worry about that because there's a fluctuating floor price and low trading liquidity. Because, like I said, it's not Bitcoin, so I mean, it's a funny market.
Well, guys, because I'm always very conscious of the time, and I know you guys are busy guys, right? But something I did want to ask, and you know, if you didn't want to talk about it, it's up to you. In hindsight, looking back, very good move. Burning that like last percent of the collection, that didn't mint out. How easy was it to come to that decision? Like, did you just come to the decision as a collective, or was it just one day, I don't know, Daniel walked in or RISBE walked in and went, right, come on, let's do it and move on? How did you just come to the decision, and then what was it like getting to that decision?
I think that was always on the back of my mind. Is, to me, people who hold our NFTs are already getting payouts, and it's getting bigger and bigger every month. Our platform is growing, so the potential is there. So ultimately, I kind of view it as, hey, this collection has been out there for a while. If you haven't minted one or you don't hold one, it's kind of on you. We're going to reward the people who have been holding. So that's the reason why when we created Series 1, it was already in my mind, hey, if you don't mint after a certain amount of time, we'll burn it. This is where we reward the people who have held. And that's kind of mentality I'm going with. Same thing with Series 2. I think we're like a 75% minted. Some people still haven't heard about us. And ultimately, we're going to burn that, move the last 25%, if it's still there, to Bitcoin ordinals. And the people who minted and bought Series 2 early, their payout's going to be much bigger now because the overall supply is smaller. So, I guess to answer your question, it's been on our mind. So definitely not easy burning stuff, but we think it's definitely the best way to reward people who got in early and who believe in the project.
Oh, strategically, it looks like a great move. I mean, these are the kind of things that I study, like these are the kind of things the lessons I want to learn in blockchain, especially the more I'm going to be integrated more in my life, etc. I mean, I do want to eventually be fucking full-time. I know it's just as a mouthpiece, but you still need to know what's going on, but these are the kind of things that I think are really important that the community fucking like to know, but very, very smart move. Like when you look at it holistically now, your floor price has shot up,
Oh, yeah, definitely. I think a lot of times people forget, like people come in and they want to build a project or they want to do something crypto related, but at the end of the day, it's all basic business. It doesn't matter if you're building on Web 1, Web 2, Web 3, have a random shop in Vietnam somewhere. It's all economics, So as long as you can think about it from that perspective, it does help us make a lot of these decisions that are kind of paying off for us. Like, in the very beginning, the fact that we're like, hey, instead of doing validators next year, let's do them now. Let's get it up there. And because of that decision, we're making great passive income that's helping, us develop more and keep the platform up and running. So, yeah, just got to do things that are good for business. And those things should, generally, be positive for your holders and people who support you.
Dude, I didn't realize how quickly you guys had accelerated your validator operations. When I looked at the list, I got a fucking shock. Like, I was like, whoa, where did all of these come from?
I think original roadmap. 9 or 10 validators in the active set across Cosmos right now.
Yeah, we're up to 9, aren't we? Yeah, plus we have 2 inactive ones.
Yeah.
Now, I was writing our original roadmap, and I put our validator, when RISBE's like, we're going to do a Juno validator right now. And I'm like, wow, 9 months early. I like that.
One of my life models I like to live by is think big, move fast. All you need is someone else to come in and sort of take something from you. And I'm not going to give people that opportunity. If I have a proper time to dive in and take something, I'm going to do it. And I hope other people do that as well.
But
Did
with
you
this
guys-
beast thing, like, just pulling the trigger now as opposed to like waiting another year or something. So let's roll out this other stuff first. Like, every time like Rizbe's like, let's do it, we know we're gonna have to start doing a bunch of work.
Did you guys get any legs up, any help out with delegations from any like renowned people or big accounts or any whale accounts or anything? Did you just get any help out?
No, I don't think so. I think most of our stuff has been community based. I definitely don't know of any big whales delegating with us.
Yeah, we got a Genesis delegation for noise, but I think that's our first, like, not just a normal community person.
Whoa, wait a minute. That's your first. Is that your first foundation delegation? Is it for NOIS? Yeah, for noise. Yeah. Wow.
Actually, no. Just to correct, it's Jackal and Noise. So we were
Jackal too, yeah.
for both.
Yeah, I can't get the Jackal on Kepler, so I sometimes forget.
Still pretty good though, because I know there's teams out there that are like literally operating just on foundations and nothing else, right? And they seem to get them all the time as well. That's decent, that, Bruce, isn't it? 9 active and 2 inactive. That's fucking big numbers. So are you inactive on Atom, are you?
Yeah, we had a plan with Atom. We're going to actually submit a prop to increase the active set, but then the Atom people, a lot of big P names, just asked us, wait till after IBC is done. It's not the time to add new validators. And we don't want to be that guy who, like, stomps on them anyway. So we're holding off on trying to increase the validator set for that. Like, I think if the set goes up by a certain number of places, we have enough community people sitting on their Atom that they don't want to delegate an active that we might be able to get there.
Oh, bro, the ICF and that crew, right? They make like the House of Representatives look like Disneyland, don't they? Jesus, that's one world I wouldn't want to be involved in, I'll tell you, for Christ's sake almighty. Jesus, they're rotten to the core. I know you guys can't say anything, so don't worry about that, unless anyone wants to. Just be diplomatic. I know you guys are going to be, right? Hey,
I
yeah.
bought Atom at like, $5 each, like in 2020 or something, and it did well. Then it went back down, but I'm still, in profit on that. And so as for the inner workings and all the politics of Cosmos, and only since coming onto Twitter have I seen most of the politics. Like, I did keep my head down on that stuff.
It's not a bad move, to be honest.
So I'm hearing about New York.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm hearing about last week. Bruce, we've been hearing some stories, but we've been hearing RISBE's the man, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. People in NYC, they like RISBE. That's the word on the street, at least.
Dude, I love all the people. It was so awesome seeing all these creators and random people. I love the New York City as a hub for crypto, and I just hope this hub just continues to grow here.
I've talked to like 4 people already in the last 3 days or something since Friday. And I'm like, oh, who did you meet? Where was it? And everyone's like, oh, RISBE was the man. RISBE was the man. And I thought, what party did I miss out on? What's going on here, But it looked amazing. Like, there was some really good looking events and stuff, yeah. Right, Brucey, how we doing? How we doing on our list of questions? We haven't done too bad, have we?
I think we've been doing pretty good.
Getting the lads
all the way around almost. I have one question, though, but that's more like a creative gift for Gelotto if they want to use it.
You reckon the lads have had some fun tonight or what, Brucey? We try to have a good interview, no? Try to make people relaxed, right?
I think, yeah, absolutely. And I also think this space going to onboard a bunch of new developers to Juno. But let's hope so.
Hey, if you got any fun ideas for us, we're always happy to explore stuff.
So, okay, here goes. It's just an idea for a character if you're going to do more NFTs. And it's an animal too if you're going to do something with whatever. But when Daniel was talking about the process of coming up with the name Gelotto, I was like, why don't you make a character that's called Risk Otto? Like a wombat that likes to take risk and gamble or something.
Yeah, that's great. Our artist is actually in here, so I hope, Skrilla, you're listening. That actually sounds fucking awesome. I love it.
Oh, is that your artist down there, yeah? Do they want to come up and speak, yeah?
I think he actually might be at work, but, if he wants to come up, he can, but probably won't. He's a little camera shy.
Yeah, man, our little dude's down there, and he's listening in the Fiat Mine, is old Ambedo there. Our little artist, he's been knocking out some pieces, RISBE. We've got a rap dropping this week,
Yeah, definitely. And, if people are looking for any type of phrase or anything that they could use in the future, definitely think ice cream. I feel like ice cream is always good.
Well, dude, this kid, you never know what's going to come out his mind. Wait till you see the stuff that he's put together for this rap. So Finn, TerraSpaces, yeah, he's done a rap called Imagine the Smell. He's voice edited me into it a little bit, and then Ambedo's done this like piece of artwork. Oh, that's ridiculous! They're going to drop like an album or something eventually, man. I don't even know what's going on at the minute, RISBE. It's getting crazy, this RAC FM shit.
Yeah, I was excited to be here today. Like RAC FM, like we've hit the cosmos big time.
Oh, bro, when our devs...
Oh, that's very sweet. Very flattering.
As soon as our devs are free, we've got a kind of wait to do the Gelotto X-RAC lottery on raccoon.bet. So this is going to be insane, and hopefully we'll be able to link up with you guys so the tickets can be sold through like both of our websites, yeah? That should be
That's the beautiful thing about the IBC, though. It's like you just have a smart contract and different front ends, and anything can hook into anything. Like that's, like the crux of Web3, if you ask me.
Bro, I can't wait. If like literally they've got such like serious deadlines now with the beta version of the sorry about the dog, it's my neighbours. 1 minute, go inside. Once they finished the beta version's got to be done, what, Bruce? 2 weeks, right? And they had 21 days to release the custom minter for Stargaze. So it's really like the working weekends, like all day Saturday, all day Sunday at the minute. So I didn't want to disturb anybody until like they've dropped like the main parts. But yeah, man, the minute they're free, I kind of wait to do this like a joint event thing. Maybe we'll be able to get based on the platform or something. I don't know. Sure, we'll be able to sort something out, guys, though, yeah?
Dude, that's incredible. My dream would be nothing more than to work with you guys. You guys kind of inspired Gelotto to sort of be, and that would be crazy. I hope when you guys are free, we could definitely do something together.
Oh, RISBE, what do we say? Stronger together, right? I want everybody in the community.
I probably do have to head off soon. I got another meeting coming up, but man, I fucking love just being here, and I love listening to RAC FM every morning while I'm getting ready and stuff.
Guys, it's been an absolute, honest to God pleasure today. This is something I've been looking forward to a while, and I was like, there is a few weeks ago, like we'll have to get the team on, man. This has been a good interview, Bruce, right? When Finn edits this, it'll be a good laugh. Anything you want to say, Bruce, with the guys?
Is that my cue to start saying things we have to edit out or something?
Oh, dude, Finn, give some real production. If you go to racfm.org, Finn created like the landing page for us, yeah? It'll divert you to the page on Twitter Spaces, but bro, if you listen to any of the beginnings he's been doing lately, they are fucking amazing. Like he's not even in the spaces, but he's having like conversations with Bruce, like with his editing. It's just really, really clever work. Like, but yeah, man, RISBE, all of you guys, honest, it's been an absolute pleasure. I've learned loads about you, the project. Really interesting, very, very articulate and affable guys. Like, so thank you very much. Yeah, when you launch the game, I'll be looking forward.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us. I'm more coherent in the morning, it seems, than in the evening. So you got lucky.
So that coding you do, Daniel.
I don't know. I mean, I already got my workout this morning. I came back, jumped in the shower, and jumped on Twitter Spaces.
Morning, people.
Did we lose Robo by any chance? Hopefully, he didn't get rugged.
I think so. I thought it was me that got rugged. But yeah,
I just imagine Robo doing all this talking and no one's listening. He'll eventually figure it out.
Bro, I got rubbed. I can't believe that. It's a flawless interview, and then I got rubbed right at the end by Twitter. Oh my goodness. Yeah, man.
Elon Musk has it out for you.
I was just saying thank you. I was just saying thank you, guys. I really appreciate you coming on, and hopefully when you drop the game, you'll be coming on to have a conversation with us again, right?
Oh, 100%, man. We look forward to it. Thank you so much for having us.
No, we don't like to make promises, RISBE, but isn't the vague, barely tenable ETA September?
Yeah, for V1, but we'll definitely talk more about that after the white paper comes out.
Good luck, guys.
Okay, I didn't say that then.
Good luck in all your endeavors, yeah? And I mean that from the RAC gang, yeah?
100%.
Thank you for that. And with that, I will see you guys later. It was such a pleasure being here.
No worries. Take care, RISBE. Right? Take care, fellas. Watch what you're doing, yeah?
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you for coming.
An excellent interview, Brucey. I love that, matey. Great.
Smart guys, man. Absolutely.
Oh,
hardworking as well, man. Got some business plans.
Articulate and affable, dude. It's so easy to get along with, man. Honestly, I'm telling you, like, RISBE's such a fucking really, really good kid. Like, proper heart of gold, like, real heart of gold. And I can tell you that, like, raccoons have had, like, a kind of donation for what we're trying to do. Like, from Gelotto. We're just sitting on it at the minute. We're not doing anything, but that's what we're going to, like, use for the lottery giveaway. when we do the wheelchair mafia on Stars, then one of them is going to go to one of the raffle tickets, one of the 555 people. We are going to be doing like really interesting things like for our community, like with what we've got. We've got 4 NFTs, yeah, different ones, but like we're just waiting. We're not in a hurry, like Bruce, are we? But there's lots and lots of things in the pipeline for us, like.
So fucking much, man. Everybody's just working so hard on their own individual thing and also on a RAC thing. It's beautiful. It's just buzzing in the GC, man.
Shit, bro. And I said the fucking secret word at the beginning, but I'm going to have to fucking say it again as well. I forgot RIZBE was going to drop it, and I forgot to ask him because we were talking about that much. I've just had a quick...
he did drop it. Yeah.
I haven't got... I dropped it earlier, yeah, but dude, I haven't got the link yet. RJ got back to me this afternoon, said I'll get you the link over, blah, blah, blah. The new banner looks class, etc., etc. Then he never got back to me. But it's all ready to go. So it's already like loaded on Omniflix. The minute that we'll have to just extend this one, yeah. But yeah, man, guys, when it comes up the secret word, it'll be ice cream. I'll timestamp the couple of times I said it in the space anyway. Right, Bruce, shall we wind down? Fucking hell, I'm done here.
Yeah, let's do it, man. I need to go out and buy some cigarettes as well.
Long show, mate. Long show. So, guys, yeah, we haven't got the link from Omniflix. Never mind. We'll have it up in at least the next 24 hours or something like that, or I'll ask them to send it to Bruce while I'm asleep. Thank you all very much for being in attendance. I hope you've enjoyed the show. An hour of shit talking and then Gelotto. It's been kind of interesting. I think I learned a lot about them. Guys, we are back with the NFT roundtable, which will be tomorrow, but it'll be 9 p.m. EST, so it's a late show on the Eastern Coast. 6 p.m. is it on PST, yeah? So it's 8 a.m. in the morning for me on Wednesday, so I'm not going to be around probably tomorrow night. Probably Bruce will be doing his usual Tuesday show, I would think, maybe not, I don't know. And then that'll be your breakfast show tomorrow, and then you'll be seeing me tomorrow night with Lex from Passage as our guest moderator. That should be a fucking great show. And then apart from that, guys, we're going to do a 420 special on Thursday. Bruce is trying to line up check, but that's not proven too easy. And we'll be doing a St. George's Day takeover all day on Sunday with all the Brits, which should be fucking hilarious. Like, that's going to be good crack. So anyway, from all of us at RAC FM, guys, we love you loads. Thank you very much. Time and time again, come and listening in. Hope you enjoyed the show. Wish you all the best. Thank you, Bruce, and good night.
Good night, everybody.
Nice. I'm gonna tell you something. When the world starts to get really bad and these mugs out here robbing, you gonna love digital currency.
All these motherfuckers, they be running and gunning, and I'm all like, I'm sitting back just having fun in the sun, and then I'm like 1 out of 100. I'm just building abundance. The sum of everything we built are in the last 100 upsets. You're getting salty, feeling faulty. You ain't no man. I keep Robo here, grinning ear to ear, throwing up anarchy, smoking toiletries, spitting philosophies. Look at the dossier. We rack like geology. There's layers to this shit, like it's sedimentary. All these little onion peels getting torn off and buried. Imagine the smell. That shit is a vital experience. Without knowing how, you will not survive, period.
He's a fucking trip, man.
Jimmy, if you listen to this, right, you're getting absolutely fucking ripped to death, like on a spaces, fucking live, you little troglodyte bastard. I hope you fucking listen. I hope you come to my house, son. I swear to God, man, I've got fucking loads of weapons and mad dogs, man. Mate, you're just a little laugh, man. Go on, fuck off, man. Do one. Harmony. No other one. Do you looking for a fucking job? You fucking idiot. You've just been fucking at the death. Fuck off.
Try to change the course of the portion philosophy. I'm just here for the corporation sponsored lobotomy. Feels like I won the lottery, like I'm ghosting this pottery. Chill, Demi, more the shit's supposed to be haunting. If it wasn't, ain't no puzzle, you would try to train your muscle. Airdropping like a fatal hustle, but the pay is bustin'. Think of all the loss accrued just to pick up on the tricky custom. I figured all those sub-downs would make up for something. I guess it just goes to show the fuck do I know. At least it's quiet over here, I like my little silo. It's better than watching them fight over how to divide my time between sitting at the desk and the ride home. Devs at Mickey D's, they leeching off that Wi-Fi. Zapdos and Moldy shipping more than 5 guys. Console open, waiting for the kamikaze. When the flash loans bang, they feeling like paparazzi. Snapshot motherfuckers. We got layers, meteor jawbreaker. We cracking a lot of craters. We rapping a lot of pay dirt, maxing out relators. Imagine the smell, $5 wrench to your Darth Vader.
It's really funny to us at Finance that everyone here is talking about blockchain attack. We know who all the validators are. We know where they live, and we're going to their house with a wrench, a big wrench, and we will attack them with the wrench, and then we will take their validator node physically and put it in a truck and drive it to China.
Right, so this is an extension of the activities you performed on BTC, right? Funding and creating these massive Bitcoin mines, putting them in caves, putting them in factories that were abandoned in the past, and also using electromagnetic pulse bombs to detonate the USA and the other country mines, right? So you're now applying this strategy to Lung in order to take over the chain, is that correct?
It's more simple. There's no EMP bomb. It's just a van of men in balaclava, and they have wrench, and they're taking the physical validators from people's houses. They are usually very fat, and they're usually in the shower with trying to wash their mice droppings off their clothes. So it's very simple. We just walk in and we take it. But if there's someone who is sitting at the computer or sleeping at the computer, we hit them with the wrench really, really hard, and then they say, "Stop! Don't do that again." And we say, "That's okay. Just give us your validator node," and then they give it to us and we drive it to China.
All right, I know. Just calm. Silence! Thank you. Sorry for yelling. I'd like to introduce you to something a little different, something I like to call RAC FM Behind the Cans. This is the part of the show that they were like, we're Steven Spielberg directors now, so we're going to tell this guy how to do his job. Oh yeah? Well, guess what? It's my job. I do it how I want to do it. So now, I proudly present to you the first hour of RAC FM, the Monday Madness show. I think my favorite part about this is that it took them an hour to get their show started. Our show, excuse me, took them an hour to get our show started. And then they're just like, oh yeah, Finn will just deal with this. And then like, didn't give me time codes. Okay, maybe he gave me time codes, but that was Monday. Right now, it's Friday, April 21st, the day after 420 and a week later. And I have probably fucking Alzheimer's, so I don't remember shit. So if you're going to like give me a time code, you better DM that shit to me. And then when I ask you, because I will ask you, you be like, check the DM. And then I'll be like, bet. Thank you. So without further ado, I hope you all enjoy this. About an extra hour of exclusive RAC FM content behind the cans.
Good morning, good evening. Do your tweets.
Just 2 minutes, Brucey. Yeah, Finn will cut this shit out. Don't worry about that. I just need to get this out to the right people, right?
Exactly.
2 seconds.
So I'll just take this time to say thank you, Chris, for this one, man. It was a nice surprise to find it in the wallet. Even though I said no, man. But appreciate it. Never gonna sell it, bro. Gonna be staked forever.
So, Bruce, if you retweet this out, then you can just say that the Gelotto crew's coming in at 9 o'clock, yeah?
Got it. Just making a cup of coffee and I'll do it in a sec.
Yeah, mate, they're a little bit busy at the minute.
No worries. Bro, the fucking DAO, man.
I am experimenting with this to see who's actually been invited and who's not to this spaces, because it's been playing up, right? You could only invite 2 people at a time, yeah? By the way, Mike
invite, what do you mean?
You know when you invite via a DM, yeah?
Yeah, you can invite like 10 at a time.
You know when you can select multiple people, right?
Yeah, you can select 10.
But you could do, but it wouldn't send it. Like you could only select 2 and it would only send the 2. You couldn't select any more than 2. It's been like that for ages until the update. Pretty bad, like. Anyway, mate, I've just had to switch me. I'm actually on the tablet, which is why I'm asking for a mic check.
It's good, man. You're good. You're real good. Can I get Chris up here?
Better than the phone. Well, hold off a bit, dude, because we want to do introductions and shit like that. We're just fucking around at the minute, aren't we? Finn's going to cut this out anyway. What about B-Bands? Is she coming like or what?
I don't know, man. I think she has no voice. I think she's chilling, recuperating.
Hey, I tell you what, mate. Did you see we've just hit over 600 on Friday? Did you see that?
Oh yeah. I listened back to it yesterday, and I saw it was like at 500 something. Bro, that's amazing. 600, and the guest of honor didn't even show.
I know.
That's weird.
I know. I couldn't believe it, dude. Like, it's almost like it's the most like random ones that are the biggest successes, right?
That is, like you said, with the nights out, with the rando nights out. That's the best ones, man. I totally recognize that.
Robo with
we always.
It's because there's no expectations, man, to the randomness, right? You don't expect anything. There's nothing to be hyped about. So yeah, you're just open, and then the universe can give you what you fucking want. That's my perspective.
You know something though?
Hey,
that
Chris.
was always our motto, right? It was always the motto about the nights out growing up as kids, like when we're going to these mad raves and that. Like literally, dude, I've finished a session, a party or whatever, or right, a mad like Thursday night out, and someone's like, "Oh, do you want to come down south? We've got a car going on like for tonight," and it's like, fucking come on, let's go. 3 days later, you find yourself, dude, in a fucking flat in Birmingham, man, with absolutely zero money and no hope of getting home. It's like, fuck. But the best times always, you know. Anyway, what we're going to do, Bruce, are we going to wait until Gelotto comes in and then do the introduction for them so that Finn can just cut that hour out or what?
Yeah, you can do it how you want to do it. Just tell Finn. At the last recorded space I did, I think it was with KRIS, I'm not sure. I forgot to do the introduction, so I just did the introduction and the ending, the outro in the end of the show. Yeah, and then I gave Finn something to play with. I think he likes it. I don't know.
He's been getting a bit pissed off, hasn't he, that I missed the introductions, because I don't know if you heard him, but did you hear he's like talking like the pirate? Did you hear it? Good. Like, Finn, what the fuck you doing, you cheeky bastard? I like when he was talking when Stray Light, and he's like, Bruce, he's not coming on. He's not going to show.
Yeah. I fucking love it, man. Yeah. I think he enjoys it as well, man. He's a theatrical character,
without a shadow of a doubt. Well, he used to do like voiceovers and that, right?
Yeah, I think he did a whole radio play with Terror Spaces, right? Didn't he do that?
Yeah, but he's also been doing like he's been doing what? He's been doing like podcasting, I think, since about 2008, something like that.
Correct.
Really long time. I know this is recorded, but I will probably get Finn to scrub this. It's just that, like, you cannot, like, just record, like, the last hour of a space, you know? You've got to record the fucking 2 hours, haven't you? Which is, we had no choice. But if this was unrecorded, I would have given the crowd a little sample, Bruce, of what's coming.
What do you mean?
You know.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Dude, so on Friday, before the Friday show, yeah, I played it, gave Don and them a sample, because I guess Celturian, I told you, like, he's a beatboxer and stuff like that, yeah?
Yeah, I read that in the group chat.
Oh, yeah, mate.
You had a little crack.
He's actually pretty good as well, you know? Yeah. But I gave them a sample and they were like, oh, wow, that's ridiculous, you know? I can't wait for people to hear it.
I'm gonna tell you something. When the world starts to get really bad and these mugs out here robbing, you gonna love digital currency.
All these motherfuckers, they be running and gunning, and I'm all like, I'm sitting back just having fun in the sun, and I'm like, one out.
Oh, little sample, Bruce, little sample. Did you catch that or not?
I did, man. I've been listening to that track, and yeah, ever since he dropped it to us. I have it downloaded, man, every day. I love his style. I fucking love it. I call it old school, polished old school.
Smoking toiletries is very, very clever. Clear, like linguistic, clear, like on things. Like, I like it. I like it a lot. Semantics.
He's fucking good at it. He's really, really good. Really good.
Mate, How much? By the way, you were thanking Chris for your thing, and before we jump into what you know about Gelotto, talk to Chris, and then we'll get going on the show.
Let's do that.
You were thanking him, well?
Yeah, I was thanking Chris, man. I was thanking him for my PFP, for a gift. It was a gift for what? Okay, go ahead. What are you saying, Robo?
Bribe, you mean? Gift? Are you talking about a gift or a bribe? Come on, Bruce, what we're talking about?
It's a gift. What the fuck, man? It was a surprise gift. I woke up and it was in my wallet. He tried to give it to me before, man, but I refused. I said to him, he should send it to the RAC FM DAO. But then I did some beta testing for him, I guess, and yeah, I don't know.
Oh, like it. It's pretty cool, yeah.
It's fucking cool. What do you mean, man? It's an awesome NFT. Never gonna sell it. Gonna have it staked in the fight farm, staking farm forever, probably. Like who should I sell this to? Also, got my name on it, man. It's a tattoo for my wallet. What's up, Chris?
Exactly. Do you know what though? I don't know if he could have made it soulbound. Could he have made it soulbound or not? Could you, Chris? I don't think you can, no.
Did you do it? What's soulbound?
Sorry, is the NFT Bruce has got, what chain is it on?
It's on Juno. It was minted in DAO, Robo.
I don't know if you haven't got the option to make it soulbound, like non-transferable, right?
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I don't know if they does Omni have that option, because the official version. Yeah. Okay, good. Then I may do that. The official version will be minted on Omni. And if that's an option, I think that'd be cool. Because I made one for Bruce. I made one for another person or two. Just mainly the people who have got the most BETS tokens in the DAO. But yeah, that'd be a cool option to make it non-transferable, because I think Bruce is right. You can't really... He could use this technically in the game or try to sell it, but who's going to want to buy something that's more personalized to a specific person?
Exactly.
Also, why would I sell it, man?
Do you know,
it's a token of appreciation for what I have done for Chris, right?
All of these honoraries, though, every one of these, like honoraries you see in these one-on-ones and stuff, they should all be fucking soulbound, shouldn't they? By default, right?
I think you're right, Robo. I didn't realize you could do that. Do you think DAO will add that option to the NFT minting?
I'm going to have a look now.
Juno definitely hasn't got it, but on OmniFlix, every single one that I've done, 611, they're all like non-transferable. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah, I think on these personalized ones, though, when we mint the project on Omni, we'll definitely make the personalized ones soulbound, because they're not really meant to sell. It's more of just like a recognition in the DAO more than anything.
But make sure you click for like the future licensing though when you do it, right? Yeah, because the license is on like the image itself, right?
Okay, I've only done one mint on OmniFlix, Robo. I'm still kind of learning over there on how you do all that. I didn't even know Solus was an option. That's freaking awesome.
Dude, when you're doing them as well, what you always want to do is, even if you're making them soulbound,
I just need to get something. Chris, did you call it soulless?
Oh yeah, sorry, not soulless, soulbound.
I love that.
Oh, brilliant! I love it. Bruce, you put me off what I was about to say there. You fucking cunt.
Sorry, man. You're talking about the OmniFlix and licensings and minting, right?
What Chris needs to do as well is, because if you look at how like NFTs and digital content work and that, and the license and stuff, there are like 5 different types, right? That you can go through, like things like commercial, blah blah blah. When you do a mint on Stargaze and that, you've got to like go through and select the right stuff. But you can just put it under like what they call like Creative Commons with an S, Creative Commons license. And if you do that and just set like any future royalties like to be allowed on the action, then you're fine. Like you kind of own, even though you've distributed all of that, you still like own it as the creator. That makes sense. So
that makes sense.
Only us can license it, yeah. If anybody else like licensed that on behalf of us, there would be running foul of the law, so to speak.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. In fact, when I go to mint these on OmniFlix, I'll reach out to you guys to make sure that's a definite thing.
Oh, bro, the OmniFlix dudes are so fucking helpful, man. By the way, guys, tonight we're going to drop the third one. Well, we're not dropping it tonight because obviously we want to give people like time to be able to listen to replay and stuff. So when the link comes out for the third NFT, right, the 3 of 10, which is a OmniFlix 420 special, all right, with the spaces embedded into the NFT as well, like the MP3 of Sisler Spaces with us is like embedded into the NFT itself. If you need, in case you're going to jump before the guys come in or whatever, because it's a small room, the secret word you'll need is ice cream. Not ice cream, but ice cream, right? The kind you eat, yeah? Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. That's the magic word that you need is ice cream. And then all you need to do is just keep your eye out for the link. Guys, the link will only be up for like short periods of time. Like we want to really make people have to like go after this to be able to get all 10, or it's not going to be worth us trying to do it, you know? But yeah, just there's the magic word. Brucey, so Thursday is 420. And we're going to drop Finn's rap then, yeah? Oh, Don listened to it the other day, you know. Don was in the room.
Oh, Don, he heard us as well. So
well, I am.
But yeah, on Thursday we're going to drop it.
I played it called Celturium was in there. And I was like, all right, I'll get some good feedback here, you know. And it was unrecorded, dude, as well. So it was like a perfect moment, right?
What did Don think?
Oh,
did he like it?
I thought they all enjoyed it. There wasn't any back or anything. So that's quite interesting because that's like the 4th, right? The 4th on 420.
The 4th, what do you mean?
What's up, you guys?
The 4th NFT. Hello, John.
Oh, yeah, no, good job.
Yeah, that was, I got to hear it. It was great. Who did?
Oh, dude, you could.
Who was it?
Finn. That's Finn, Terra Spaces.
Really?
He's good, right?
Dude. Yeah, he's good.
Fucking good.
Yeah, I enjoyed
He's
that.
done another one. Johnny's done another one straight off the bounce. That's probably going to be the 5th NFT that will stealth drop. So literally, it's only the NFT people that's going to get like a copy of the rap, right? Obviously, other people can go and troll and download it if they want, but embedded in the NFT, like that, the 5th one will be getting stealth dropped. It's called GM. And it's a classic as well, isn't it, Bruce?
That's so cool. I
Absolutely.
I didn't even know they were embedded in it like that. That's fucking badass.
Yeah,
it's
dude.
Really easy to do as well with DAO, man.
I did it on DAO last week, Don, yeah. What I did is I'll put it up in the nest. I'll go and grab it. I managed to be able to, well, I'm not managed. You can do it, you know. You just kind of adding like audio to like an NFT, right? But I managed to be able to go in and get the Sheldon one and then embed Sheldon's like MP3 of his spaces, the proper production one that Finn's done, like into the NFT on Juno. So anyone can go to like the RAC FM DAO that's in the bio link. You can click on it and you can go to our treasury. And if you click on our treasury, you'll actually be able to go down and see the NFTs and you'll see the Sheldon one. And you'll see it's got like the I think it's like an hour and 45 or something, Bruce, long, right? After the edit, yeah?
Yeah, I think 145.
Well, it's pretty cool, like, but I'm looking forward to the rap ones done. Cannot fucking wait for this, like, yeah.
I'm just thinking,
hey, Robo,
when you have
doing the audio and the video testing on these NFTs, did you have any issues with the file size or uploading? I think I saw you in their Discord kind of asking some questions. Is there anything people should know?
Signal had some issues because their files are massive, but no, mate, the only issue is that the image size for the NFT, for the PNG, must be under 4.5 meg, which is okay. That's not too bad at all, but that's the only kind of like limitation. As long as you put like the link in to wherever it is, like the saved file online, DAO can access it, no problem. Dude, it's been. I mean, this is like a Spaces, like an audio track, like an hour and 40 odd minutes long. And dude, it just uploaded in seconds and bang, done. It's just
so you don't. No, let me just say something. You don't upload the file, the video, or the audio. You provide a link where it will be streamed from.
Correct. Yeah. Yes. Exactly. The location. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, it needs to already be on yeah, exactly. It already needs to be on an accessible cloud, yeah. Which is fucking easy though. I mean, but we've got Finn though, and that's already done, isn't it? Because when you click in, you get the .mp3 file from Finn, and that's what I put in Omniflix. That's because I've embedded Sizzler's Space, you know, the one from 28th of March, yeah, when he came on with the 420 alpha. That's ready to go now. If I had the addresses, I could send it out now. I mean, look, Bruce and Don and them, you know, people are not going to listen to the spaces. No one's going to like get the NFT to like listen to it. That's not what it's about. It's about like what it represents in the future. That like cataloging, for want of a better word, right, Bruce? Is that what you would say? Cataloging like moments in history and attaching them to culture and trying to like say, right, this is that particular moment in time, right? What's the word I'm looking for?
Nostalgia, right?
Yeah, it's like a cave painting, and it's also a way to extend or broaden our platform, and it's also a proof of concept, right?
Correct. And then you do that again. So you know, you do a spaces one, then you do like a rap one that are all like proof of whatever it is, you know, participation or attendance. Then you stealth drop one, and you just keep it trying to be fresh, you know, keep people interested. But we've said like at 5, we'll do something. At 10, we're really going to do something, right? And another one is, Bruce, did you see the tweet about following the RAC FM DAO yesterday on DAO?
I did. And I even went in and made sure I followed it, even though I knew I already did it beforehand. But yeah, I retweeted it.
Did you ask yourself why I told everybody to do that? No, because I only
I did, but I figured it out, man. I think I figured it out.
I only found out yesterday that you can like query and get the addresses for all of the followers of the DAO. It's really easy. I didn't know,
but I think I have an idea what's gonna come, and it sounds like a fun idea.
No, hook me up like I didn't realize that you were like. I said like, can you query the addresses? He went, oh, bro, you can just download them in a CSV file. 2 seconds. I was like, what? Okay. So, hey, we're telling people, hey, make sure you're following the fucking RAC down. Make sure you grab the NFTs from Omniflix. Because there will be fucking gated access and you'll be fucking surprised. I want everyone to get in, Bruce, you know.
Maybe Gary can help. I don't know. We'll have to talk about that.
Hey, I mean, before they come on, obviously, Gelotto, yeah? Have you been buying any of these lottery tickets for the raffles, for the NFT raffles or not?
Yeah, I bought a bunch for the Strange Clan raffle they had a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I bought a few for that one as well. I bought a few. They have a
really slick homepage. Very nice.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And I don't even know that much. The copy of the white paper, the draft white paper. But I was like, bro, I'd much rather like just wait and then get you on the show and then like bang, let's go like hard, you know. Which is kind of interesting tonight because normally on a Monday we'd have to clock off by 10 p.m. EST, right? For B-bands here. But
that's correct.
The show's cancelled tonight, right?
Yeah, she lost her voice, had to do a space when you have 0 vocals, man.
So randomly, random as fuck, if Gelotto, because they're not coming on until 9 in about 36 minutes, if we can go over the 10 o'clock mark, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of saying it because I kind of like prepared for like a full on like 60-minute cram everything interview, but I think we maybe can chill a little bit more, right?
Why wouldn't we, bro? It's also your show today. You're hosting, so.
I'll tell you what, bro. I'm impressed as fuck with Gelotto, and I don't give a fuck what any fucking cunt would say. Any of the haters that can all fuck off, and Finn will delete this part of the recording.
Why? No, I'm impressed.
I'm on about the haters, man. Like.
No, but I want to know. I want to know why you're impressed. Fuck
why
the haters.
Hey, shippers are going to ship. Shippers are just going to put their head down, ignore the noise, keep engaged with their community. Like, I've been in their Discord. I've seen how engaged it is. That ain't easy to be able to constantly keep hold of people's attention. The poker nights are a roaring success. People love it. The raffles, they're like just on the community building alone, right? And it's not like, what we laugh at about community and this kind of shit, right? But bro, literally from the community building alone, that's enough for them to be in my fucking good books. Then when I look at how they came out and supported us, in more ways than one. I mean, we're talking a while ago, after the hack, when RISBE did the space with Tank. Can you remember when I went on that? Did you catch that one, Bruce, or not?
No, I think that was out of my time zone.
Late for me, actually. No, I don't know if it was or not, but that was when Tank was doing the Juno validator interviews. Remember, he had them on as the validator.
I don't think I was that active in spaces back then, bro.
All right, it wasn't that long ago. It was not long after the hack, the white whale hack, and man, they were just so fucking cool. On that spaces, he was like, "Bro, you didn't need to tweet that out. You did." We went into fucking panic mode, the bat phone going off in the office, blah blah blah. We really thank you. Many people would have stayed quiet and not said anything about it, and then done the autopsy. Then maybe or maybe not spoke about it after, blah blah. And they were like, nah, you've saved everyone a headache. They were just fucking really nice people. Bruce, that's the thing. We'd never had the opportunity to speak to them face to face before. And then you get to speak to people face to face, and you're like, fuck, these are just really nice people. But you know what blockchain's like in that competitive spirit, right?
Yeah. So, Robo, I gotta admit something. I have hated Gelotto from the moment they went public, from the moment they launched. I just hated them because I felt like they were intruding on our territory. But it's an open market, but still, bro. It took me. It's only recently that I stayed with the validator and I buried my personal little hatchet I had with them.
I know, but hear me out. What I'm about to say here, right, is that take Juno for example, right? I mean, I take IBC. IBC is a lot stronger when these L1s stand together, like Juno and Osmosis, or do you know what I'm talking about, right? And
absolutely,
it's exactly the same. Fundamental to Juno's future success is the DApps being able to get on and I'm not going to use the word directly collaborate. Because there's too much. You heard what I said about this week. People are oh, we're offering 5 whitelists for this project. That's a collaboration. It's fucking bro, that is not a collaboration, right? But you can easily get on, be friends, and do little things connected in that, but not necessarily be directly collaborating in each other's projects. Does that make sense or not?
Yeah, absolutely. We also have to recognize that it is still an open, free, competitive market. We need to, as a community, and this is a community chain, Juno, right? We are a community. We need to work together and work for the common good. No doubt, if we want a success, especially in the hard times, but we cannot be blind and be all kumbaya, man. It is still an open, free market, and no one's going to be bailed out when they go bankrupt.
Yes, and it's not going to get anyone anywhere being insular. Like I say, you can help each other out in more ways than just direct collaboration, right? There are ways to be able to support projects. We have just been joined by Mr. Home Pleb to the stage. Guys, Gelotto's not coming in for about another 30 minutes. Anybody welcome to come and jump up, guys. Don't worry about that. And by 9 p.m, Finn will be, deleting the first hour, and then we'll be getting on with the interview. So, yeah, if you want to jump up, by all means. But Mr. Home Pleb?
What up, Home Pleb? It's getting rocked. Well, Mayor just jumped up instead, so let's say hello to him.
Hey, good morning, good evening, guys. Just wanted to get your thoughts on the stream swap with Flix and the way they're going to be doing this bootstrapping. I've been playing around with the beta, and I think I'm getting the basic concepts of it. They're going to try to find price discovery and let the community in on this, but it's like I'm still not sure, like, as far as the hardcore math of, like, is it a good deal to throw some, $100 worth of or $50 worth of osmosis in here and get some Flix, or should you wait? Like, I don't think anyone really knows yet. Have you guys thought about this?
Yeah, I've thought about that, Mayor. I have, and we don't know how big the stream swap pool is gonna be, like how many Flix are gonna be locked in it, and we also don't know the duration yet.
Yeah, and
this is just speculation and assumptions, right? But knowing and been dealing and talking with the Omniflix team, they really seems like community orientated and fair people.
Yeah, I mean, we all know they're a solid team, and they've contributed a lot to the ecosystem, and that's why I'd really love to support them and support their launch. So I'm just thinking, like, what's the big deal? Throw $50 worth of Osmo in there or whatever, and just whatever you get. It's kind of like you're helping them launch their token.
Yeah, you are helping them launch their token, but there's also the way to acquire Flix, right? And it's also the way to price in the token, where we as a community have a say.
Yeah,
I thought I would wait a little bit, like, before weighing in, but. So, right, what is this? It's a replacement for the original Osmosis LBP, right? Why did they do a couple of LBPs like Comdex? Did they do Stargaze? I think they did, didn't they? Yes, and Lum, right? I think they did 3. Like, why did they get rid of it? What was the problem? Well, the problem was this retards, absolute plebs, just didn't know how, like, a reverse Dutch auction worked, right?
You're talking about the liquidity bootstrapping. You're talking about bootstrapping a token.
The liquidity bootstrapping program that Osmosis did. This is what you're talking about now is just V2. It's just under another name. That's all it is, right? It's LBP V2 that I've been talking about, like, for how long now? Like, I'll go and grab a tweet for you and, like, show you, talking about this, like, well over a year ago. Again, I love Omni daily, and it's not about them, because they're not able to do it themselves. This has been, like, dependent on, like, on Osmosis, right? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Omniflix, haven't got the ability to.
Yeah, they don't
bootstrap.
They don't have
protocol.
They don't have $500 million they're willing to back this token with. Like, I guess. Unless you really understand how other tokens come online, unless it said an ICO initial coin offering, like that's how they were doing it on Ethereum like 3 years ago. Like you would have VCs backing the token and getting in early, and then they would open it up to the public. Like unless you understand how all that stuff works, it's hard to grasp like what.
No,
go ahead, Robo.
More important. It's more important to understand how the token price, the price discovery action, like, works based on the old method, or like what they're trying to do now with, like, the kind of balancer kind of thing. Like, before, it was like hitting hope, but if you bought in at the beginning, you were going to pay high. Like I said, an LBP was, the LBP of Osmosis was originally designed to be like a reverse Dutch auction, right? The price starts high and goes low, yeah, over a period of time, right? Those speculating first on the token pay the highest price, right? No?
Yeah. I agree. There's different and that's what I'm saying. It's like it's hard to, unless you understand like a lot of how these tokens come to be and the price discovery. It's just a little hard to wrap your head around it. But I like your explanation of this is just kind of like their V2 of liquidity bootstrapping, because I think there was a fourth token on Osmosis that like failed to launch and then they pulled it. I don't know if it was Fanflix or it was one of them. I can't remember which one it was, but it like failed to launch and then they had to pull it or something.
They pulled it, yeah, when they realized there was problems in it. Like it wasn't, the math wasn't right, man, dude. It was proper messed up, that LBP, like. I mean, it only really, like, which one did it work for? Stars, right? Because I remember Comdex had proper made a mess of that one, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, but I guess the way the way I see it, Robo, is it's like it's with a lot of these tokens, it's just there's so much more behind the background. Like, is there, for the chain itself, is there a good plan to get to, cash flow positive? You look and see what's happening with Stride, and like that token just skyrocketed, and now they're going to be a consumer chain, and like I listened into the Stride spaces where they were kind of announcing this, and they're like, well, people who hold the tokens will still have the voting power. And I'm like, well, so I guess that with the Stride, it's like that's going to be, it's going to be completely a governance token, but that's what's keeping its value, because you're talking about all those liquid stake assets. So it's just, there's so many moving parts with some of these chains. You know what I'm saying? I guess.
Do you know what's kind of, I did pop a tweet in the Nestor just to say like about how long like people have been waiting for this. So the date is April the 12th on the, I couldn't even get my words out there. April the 12th in the Nest last year, right? Bro, I was excited about this because if you can see where I've got Omniflix at the bottom, right? That was because Rama and I had just interviewed them. They were like our like second interview or whatever it was after like Jack Zamplin and after the Juno halt last year, right? We asked Sisler if he wanted to come on. He's like, yeah, because he'd been listening in. He's like, yeah, of course. Bro, they were excited about LBPV2 launching 12 months ago. This is how long this has taken to get together, man. And like I said, not because of Omni, but because of osmosis. That's where the vast majority of the dev's been needed, right?
Yeah, because I mean it looks pretty. I guess so. Just back down to StreamSwap. Like you throw in $100 worth of osmosis, and you let it sit in there and incubate or whatever, and then like there's the different streams or the different streams. I'm still trying to wrap. I know Rarma did a little thread on it about kind of like the background of how it works, but I guess if you have to keep an eye on the stream and there's a way to like work it to where you might get more flicks, like I still don't have my head wrapped around the whole process. You know what I'm saying?
I can share with you what I figured out so far.
Yeah, man. So we got time.
Okay, let's go. So you can see beforehand how much flicks that's logged into the pool, right? And you can also see before the stream starts, or when it started, how many shares of Osmos there are. So over the course of time, and this is how I understand it, that amount of flicks will be streamed to the Osmo participants. So if you have like 1K shares out of 1 million, and you have 1,000 flicks logged, or 1 million flicks logged, you can figure out roughly like how much you get, right? And you can subscribe during the streaming phase as well.
Right. And then other people can add in more capital. That's where it's like, right. If you see this pool's got, 100,000 flicks in it and not that many people are subscribing, you subscribe some of your capital. And then, but I guess, so the streams are only open, is it like a 12-hour period? It looked like in the beta, there was like some were 24, some were 12 hours. So I guess that's where I'm kind of, but
you can see that on beforehand before going in. I don't know if the beta and the launch going to be exactly the same, right? But
yeah. So yeah, that's just what I'm curious about. Like, I don't know, it's, to me, it's just, unless I can really wrap my head around it, like, but it's like you said, I think it really there's going to be price discovery, and there's going to be times for opportunity when other people aren't subscribing to the pools. And then there's going to might be times when the pool might be really crowded and it's not the best time to get in.
I'll tell you my strategy, shall I, with flicks. Don't rush it. Dead simple, dead easy. I think that's just watch. If you're waiting to make a purchase, if you've got dry powder on hand, blah blah, just get ready. Just watch, see what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. That's spot on, Robo. Spot on.
We've never had this before, have we? So everything that everybody's going to say is just kind of speculation until the market acts, you know. People can talk about like, oh, this and that, right? And I get exactly like how Sister was talking about it, how Sonny was talking about it, blah, blah, right? But like, it's the market, isn't it? Nobody knows what the market's going to be like. Nobody knows what the market's going to be doing that day, right? None of us fucking ever know with this shit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, overall market in general. But all right, so let's just zoom out a little bit. Like, I think we all love the Flicks team. Like, they're just solid guys. They've been building and building and building. They're doing this totally different than a way a lot of chains do. Like, they have an active, vibrant marketplace. And I guess for me, it's like, I'm a big fan of Stargaze, but can Stargaze use some healthy competition within Cosmos? Yeah, I think so, but I just kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on that too.
There are any competition. I've thought about this religiously for the last few weeks. Nothing in my mind tells me that Stargaze and Omniflix are competition. In my opinion, they are completely different, but they complement each other so fucking well. Now, when you compare Loop, if you compare Asset Mantle, if you look at Talus, Hoppers, blah, 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 there's very fucking little to nothing, dude, between them, whatever. They don't stand out. What Omniflix are doing is very, very different to Stargaze.
Yeah, with the video and the audio, it's different than regular NFTs, is what you're saying, kind of.
But I think they're just all different places. I think Stargaze is always going to be the PFP marketplace. Yeah, there'll be gaming and you've seen with Sunnyside and stuff, but traditionally Stargaze, when I think about it, it's like that PFP, right? When I think about Omni, I think about the audio content, the video content, live streaming, etc., etc. The NFTs that you supply with the Omniflix content are supplementary to the base content itself, right? Let's be honest. When we drop the wrap on Thursday, what's the most important? The accompanying art, the one-on-one art by Ambedo, or the 2.5 minute, 3 minute wrap by Finn? They're both important, but which is the critical piece of content that you're delivering? It's the wrap. It's not the picture, right? The picture's just the thumbnail that's accompanying the wrap, right? That's where Omniflix excels. And that's where Stargaze won't go, I think.
Bruce, now you know why I come in here, because I need to bounce these ideas and get the expert. I need the expert to tell me chill out, man. Just don't go ape into these freaking pools. Just take your time, but you got to look at the big picture.
It's good, because I would have told you the exact opposite. I would have said, throw everything in fast to get the best price, bro. What are you waiting for, man? How do you even dare to wait? Bro, you have time to sell the house.
Put the money in the Dow.
Stake it for 13 days, bro. Put it in the Dow. Sorry, go ahead.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Home Pleb.
Good morning, Home Pleb.
How are you?
Dropped off the kids?
I'm getting the last one dropped off now. So you get to hear a little bit of that part. But how's everyone? I haven't
put the clone baby in the Dow, Homestead.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I missed so much. I took the week off of spring break, right? I haven't jumped in any of these spaces in forever. You guys are dropping NFTs. There's some LBP shit going on. What is that?
April 20th.
So Home Plebs missed a week of crypto fucking Twitter. Oh my God, think of everything.
Not crypto Twitter, just RAC FM, Robo. I've still been on my handle a little bit and paying attention.
RAC FM is crypto Twitter, bro.
This is where the fat is too. So
Home Pleb, how many
it's all been leans this last week.
Home Pleb, how many Tag 3 Frens giveaway have you been doing lately?
I don't know, a lot, like Pleb, right?
I think I counted 175.
I'm owning it. Also, while we're owning it, just a shout out to my friend Mayor for helping me out in the space last weekend, doing the Pleb a favor in his new gig. So thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Maybe I owe you an ape or something, I think.
What did I miss? Like?
Cosmos Ape Alliance.
I got brought on. I got brought on to Cosmos Ape Alliance as their ambassador, right? And they're apes, so we got to do everything that other people are doing. So we've started our own Ape FM, I guess.
Another FM, man. First, congratulations with the ambassadorship, bro. But
I was
come on.
I was able to dissuade them from doing just a full Ape FM Twitter handle. I was like, we're gonna take too much flack from Raccoon if we do that. Let's not ape so hard.
Robo, please say something to Home Pleb, man. I don't know. It's my job to be the nice guy.
I'm going to be quiet because Winston's looking at me like right now with those eyes like, who the fuck is that prick? Like,
I can
Winston,
feel the cringe. I can feel the cringe from the other side of the world.
Bro, when you finish dropping the kids off and you get back home, I want you to walk in your house, take one big sniff, and imagine smell in your house right now, bro. Fucking swear to God.
Oh, I fucked that up real good for you, didn't I?
So Mayor, wait a minute. What did he say? Maisie's number 2. Is that what he was saying? Maisie's number 2.
I was just helping him out. I was just helping him.
He just backed me up, kept the conversation rolling. He reset the room once or twice for me, which, you know, a pleb needs help there. A pleb needs somebody with those skills.
Fucking bro, you know what? We got ghosted on Friday, and we end up having one of the best shows of the fucking month. Like, fucking 600 fucking hits on it so far. It was a fucking cracking show Friday, like proper gigabrain stuff. Didn't worry, Home Pleb, you've got a long way to go, son. Our shadow is fucking long and dark, kid.
Yeah, what do they say?
I'm still sitting here slinging my pennies, trying to 10x them to dimes. Don't worry.
Yeah, what do they say? Imitation is one of the greatest forms of flattery. So,
correct. Oscar Wilde, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it Oscar Wilde or Hemingway? One of them.
One of those guys. But Friday with Dead Right and just some good conversation on RAC FM on Friday for sure.
Bit of serious stuff like mixed with the crack, and you'll have a good show, you know. Yeah.
I just want to remember everybody that Oscar Wilde. He said he was imprisoned for 2 years for under the Buggery Act.
Correct. He was one of the most progressive homosexuals of his time, right? Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
Like back in those days, like you could still get like castrated and that, right? Because you remember your man, what do they call him? The guy that invented the computer, Alan Turing. He got chemically castrated, didn't he? Fucking cunts. I can't believe they did that to him. Like, fucking war hero, you know?
I didn't know that.
Oh, aye, bro. Fucking nasty shit, like. But Oscar Wilde, like, he was proper, like, mad as fuck back in his day, like, didn't give a fuck. But he was lucky anyway. How did the conversation end up there, bro?
You said you quoted Oscar Wilde and said his name, and then I just remembered that fact.
Yeah,
and then I said it.
We got to get back on track. We got to get Home Pleb back up to date here. Yeah. What's going on with Flicks?
There we go. Mayor, resetting the room. Nice job, buddy.
That's not how you reset the room on RAC FM.
How many after the filter NFTs did you get, Home Pleb? Did you get a couple?
Bro, I'm a pleb, man. I didn't have any liquidity for that mint.
Oh,
I'm a pleb. You know what, too? The NFT I was trying to move for some liquidity sold like an hour after that shit minted out, too. Just like typical pleb circumstances, fashion.
Unless you had a whitelist, you weren't gonna. It was kind of tough to get one, but I was gonna say.
Wait, how did you get whitelisted for it?
No, I did it. I got aftermarket. I got one on the aftermarket.
Wait, but how did people get whitelisted?
You had to hold a bad kid. If you held a bad kid.
Oh, you had to hold a bad kid, not fumble one. Fuck.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, yeah. I forgot about yours, man. Anyways, have you read the...
I didn't want to mention it.
Yeah, I forgot, man. Oh, sorry about bringing that up.
I don't mind. You guys can throw that at me anytime you want. I hope in like 2 years, when we're in the next bear market, that shit gets pulled out of somebody's hat.
That's why you've had a week off, innit? Isn't it? That's why you've had a week off, isn't it? To cope with the stress of losing the bad kid for 25 stars.
Not cope, man. He was sent out of the house. He was in the barn for a week.
Oh,
wife
bro.
did not enjoy that sale.
My house would be fucking stinking. If that was me, I'd be kicking shit for like a week. There would be fucking, bro, I would go fucking hard, man.
So who else got a couple after the filters? I got 2.
I got 2 and sold one
Right there,
for 15K. Or 15K stars.
You're already selling?
Yeah, I sold my one. I wanted to get profits while they were there, man. Spent 3,200 stars, got 15,000 stars back. I'll do a quick ×5.
You don't think it's
Damn,
night
Chris,
keeper?
teach me your ways.
Chris, my man, flipping NFTs on the daily. My
Dude,
man.
Not only is he selling them for profit, today his wife is minting for him. What do you got, Chris? What's going on, man?
Oh yeah, I got her set up at home. She's gonna be doing the Women from Cosmos mint for me, and on 2 wallets too. I got her all.
So you got your wife to mint your porn for you. How did you do that?
Wait a minute, they're only for virgins. Finn told us in the group chat today that collection's only for virgins.
That's true. He said that.
Then I guess
you're gonna have a baby soon.
I guess my wife is like an immaculate conception. Then you know, I guess we got another one.
What was these words? Brucey? She's only
immaculate.
She's only dropping this fab collection for the fucking virgins. That was his words. Oh my goodness, I couldn't stop laughing actually. Hey, listen, anyone who can simp fish gets the best respect in the world for me. Get that simp money fucking moved. All he is. We're trying to do that. Anyway, Chris, how was New York, bro?
Dude, it was awesome. It was a good time. Just meeting everybody and talking to people, and even talking to people from Polygon, you really realize how small Cosmos is. Like when you're talking to people.
Did you have a sandwich with Joe or not? You just got a sandwich together?
I don't think we went to a diner at night. We got a bunch of diner food. RISB all took us out. He was the man.
Oh, his class is coming on soon. It's coming on in about, he'll be bloody on soon, won't he, Bruce? Have to keep our eye open for that, yeah?
7 minutes, man.
Yeah, I'm just
Chris, let me ask you a question about New York. Is the music always so loud all the time?
Oh, New York is just loud in general. When you're in places like, and they probably might have been near a speaker at that restaurant, but oh yeah, it's when you get to a club or anything, that music is loud. You feel it in your bones.
That's why all the New Yorkers, they yell. That's why. But sounds like a fucking great time, bro.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
To hear you enjoyed it.
He's an awesome person. Maria is an awesome person. Amanda, Gaines, freaking Joe, Ruan, Shane. I met everybody that came up there. It was a good time.
Chris, can I ask you something?
Not jealous at all, man.
Chris, can I ask you something about the crypto?
What's that, Home Pleb?
Not jealous at all. I like you said, seriously, it sounds like an awesome time meeting some really awesome people. So, you know,
I want
to
ask Chris this question and answer it honestly, Chris. When I've fucking seen these conferences and stuff like this, right? When I watch them on YouTube, blah, 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 right? I've always thought, like, if I was at a conference, I just want to be on the fucking piss with all the cool people, like I didn't want to be sitting there watching shows and shit. Like, what is the best bit about it, though? Just going out on the piss with, like, other people.
Oh, yeah. The best conversations I had was with a beer, rubbing shoulders with somebody, talking to people about things. Like, the conference part, I didn't even go to. I just went to all the side events, to be honest.
Yeah, mate, that's what I'm talking about. Just, like, fucking hanging out with people and getting wrecked. Like, that would be the best part of a crypto conference, I would reckon. Right,
so what
Brucey?
was the... Chris, one moment. Chris, what was the most cringe thing you saw at the conference or the side events? There's always one thing that's really, really, really cringe at one of those events, right?
Home Pleb's giveaways.
Yeah, But that's just crypto Twitter.
At a certain couple places, the amount of guys that were more than girls, it was like, whoa. It was like really like outnumbered, maybe like 7-1, 8-1.
Chris, was that certain number of places like 99.5% or 99.6%?
99.5. But nah, it was funny. It was good.
Don't many crypto conferences end up like that, though. We saw the pictures of who was it, Bruce, who went out for the meals in Cosmoverse last year? That big photo. There was like 25 of them, not one woman around the table, right?
Yeah, I remember something like that, bro.
I think it was like
still some.
Yeah, it was like Osmosis. It was Osmosis. It was Kepler. It was like. There was literally like about 5 teams there or something, like about 25 guys, whatever, and literally just not one female in the entire fucking room. Is that the kind of conference? I mean, that doesn't sound like normal fucking life, does it? You didn't go to a rave and it's like fucking 7-1, like men to women, or you're not going back to that rave, right? Or nightclub, right? You know what I'm saying, no?
Yeah, that art show club the first night at Noculus, where Maria had her work shown and everything, and we had like the Stargaze corner. That was a dope, like that was a cool party. I'll have to say that.
That looked really cool. That, like, I saw her pictures along the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were like the pictures don't even do them. Those were like all the pictures like 4K. They were like the projectors were top notch. Like everything looked good. Like, nothing looked crappy.
Yeah, so the bad kids and stuff like along the back wall as well, right?
Oh yeah, they had that whole wall. They had big kids on the wall at one point, and they had bad kids on that whole wall at one point.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. That was fucking class. Oh, mate, I'm over the moon. You had a good time, like.
Yeah, but I just
popped up to say what's up. I'm about to hop in and start my day of work. I gotta go
drop a liner. So you all be good. I'll be listening to this on the back end.
What was a sentence about New York? Because my mother's gone in a couple of months. Well, August. What's it like, mate? Because I remember the last time I was seeing videos in New York, I looked rough as fuck. Is it a bit better now, like, yeah?
Yeah, it's way better. There's a lot more things for people to do. I mean, it's New York, man. There are bad areas and there are good areas, and usually just keep your head down and walk in and nobody bothers you.
No, I was meaning like the garbage and all that. I saw piled up around the streets and that when they were on.
Yeah. There's garbage everywhere, man. That's the one thing about New York. You never get around with people on top of each other. There's just garbage in the street all the time.
Well, they still haven't sorted it out now. That's kind of weird, isn't it?
Bro, hasn't that been going on since 1972 or something?
I was about to say, very quickly, I know Chris said he was off ski to start his day off, so have a good day, Chris, yeah?
He's already off.
No, I'm still here. I was the guy I'm working with was just calling me.
But I think the guest of honor just arrived right on time.
Before we'll do, Brucey, we're going to kind of have a bit of a reset. So before we kind of do like any introductions or whatever, Brucey, we'll clear the kind of panel of speakers. So RISBE, I believe we're going to be waiting for Daniel and, we've got 3 here already, right? So one moment. I believe, is that right? Yes.
Yep, they should all be here.
So, Bruce.
All right, I'm dropping it. You guys have a good show. RISBE, what's up? And I'll catch you all later.
See you later, brother, man.
No worries.
Take care, later, guys. Put them down.
Right, Brucey, mate, let's clear the floor. Let's get everybody, because Finn's going to cut this episode when I do the intro, right? So we want the normal RAC FM fucking intro for the beginning of the show for Spotify, yeah? Then we'll get into the lads, yeah? Is that all right, Brucey?
That's all right. I was just clearing the floor.
No worries, my friend.
You just go ahead, bro.
So, yeah, man, it's this is quite an interesting one, though, where Bare Bones of Web3 is not on. So where I thought we were going to be flapping a little bit for time, it turns out that we're not actually flapping for time, which is a fucking, that's a bit of good crack, like. So, yeah, dude, let's get everybody in, matey. You cleared the floor, yeah?
It's done.
Classic, like Brucey. Right, fellas, let's get going, yeah?
Yeah, sounds perfect. I'm kind of sad Beat Band's lost her voice. Would have been nice to talk to her again.
Oh, Nature's, and our Bare Bones is cancelled as well. Don't worry, RISBE, mate. I'm going to quickly do the intro because we didn't do one at 8 o'clock waiting for you guys. So I'm going to switch it up a little bit today, then we'll get kicked off and then we can put this into edit into a proper show for you guys, right? So, Finn, this is for you complaining that I haven't been doing my workload, right? And you've been trying to fucking copy me. So, Finn, this is for you fucker, right?
It's the RAC show coming from the RAC store. With this back in the Mac in the back flow. Let's go, chillin' with raccoons by the back door. Take calls so you can stake more. All I wanna do is making dough, right? But I found this crew and doing alright. We RAC will bitch, ready to fight. So many raccoons ready for the boss life. I might fly high like a kite, right? But always ready for a shite for the right price. Raccoon supply has the right price. Giving you respect if it's likewise. So I'm buying all the mean guys with the clean heart. Read between lies, laser beam through lean eyes. Warrior with clean lies, trash mouth, mean smile, be wise. NFT wise, fuck with these guys. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rap from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rack from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. Blast that RAC rap from the stash app. Supplying the raccoons with a headbang rap. RAC gang with the RAC will slang like a trash can. Hoodie with fangs and a gold chain. It's either RAC will or the red pill. Best chill while we get into the first meal. Best feel, best devs with the best skill. No shill, all real, secret is a great deal. RAC will insane, Shane better stand fast. Robo shooting his tweets with straight facts. Knowledge from the street, with the best plan yet. Winston gotta eat if you retweet that. Free alpha life feed from the base camp. McKenna always ready if you dare that. Buying all raccoons for his rare stash. Trash panda biker gang, motherfucking hashtag. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rap from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack. It's the RAC rap from the back lab. 100 NFTs in my backpack. Crazy rap from the stash app. RAC will take a lead in this haystack.
TerraSpaces.